What's going on, Dash and the Middlers? Our guest this week is Mr. Kevin Roberts. We were so lucky to be able to sit down with him and record some of his stories, everything from growing up in Indiantown, Florida, to becoming a hunting guide and a cowboy. We hear everything from quail hunting to hunting water buffalo and roping water buffalo at J&R Outfitters in Indiantown. And we hear a bunch of awesome cowboy stories from the Glades County Hunt area, Big Cypress, and a bunch of different ranches all over South Florida where Kevin worked growing up. I enjoyed this conversation so much, and I know you will too. Roger that. It's a beautiful thing getting it all set up. All right, so appreciate you having us out, Kevin.
Absolutely.
And bringing us into the Brady Ranch Lodge. We love it. And to start off, though, I've noticed that it's best to have a good icebreaker. So I'm going to ask you an icebreaker.
Okay.
I've been racking. Yeah, here we go. I've been racking my brain, and as soon as Steven and I were saying, like, okay, I'm going to go interview Kevin, blah blah blah, I was like, I need to ask him, when is the first time that we met? Do you remember? Because I remember vividly.
When I met you?
Yes, the very first time that we met. I
Had
remember.
to been at Steven's house, or was at my cow pens or something.
Okay, keep going, because I want to see where you.
Well, I mean, I think that's it.
You think it was Steven's house?
I think it was at my cow pens. Maybe.
No, it was at Steven's house. I'm surprised that you remember that.
Okay.
I'm surprised that you remember that, because I was thought you were going to say something about building fence or whatever when I came to help you with the high fence out here. Well, first I came to help you at your house with the fence. But where I'm going with this is, yes, it was at Steven's house, Palomino. You were driving your 6.0 at the time, the green one, the green 6.0. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's actually probably been about like 8 or 9 years. I want to say 9 years, because we were going down Palomino. Yeah, we were going to your house when you and Steven still had cows together, where they stayed separate.
Sure.
Yeah, it was Steven, Tori, me, Wyatt, and then you. And they're
Did
like,
you live there then too?
No, I was just there helping him out, and helping him out. I was just riding along really at that point. But I remember just getting in the truck, like, for whatever reason I ride with you, not Steven. I'm just getting in the truck, and the whole way, because for whatever reason we rode down Fox Brown. I'm surprised we didn't just take the grade, but we rode down Fox Brown, and the whole way until your house, you told us stories about J&R Outfitters and water buffalo and just all these crazy stories. And I just remember riding in the truck thinking, like, dude,
I must have had plenty of coffee that morning.
Dude, you were jacked up. But I remember them vividly, and it's just crazy that impact that those stories had on me. Like, I've never met anybody like this a day in my life with interesting stories like this. So that's really the point of the podcast too, is, somebody's going to hear it and somebody's going to go, dude, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Like I did, when I was 20 or 21, whatever it was. So yeah, I feel like people are going to get a ton out of it, and it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Okay, we'll try.
Yeah, no, I know it'll be good. So start me off. What's up? So start me out in the beginning, though, where you were born and where you went to school, and kind of what high school was like, before you got into cowboying.
I was born in Indiantown, Florida. Obviously, I was born in Stewart because there was no hospital in Indiantown.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Indiantown, Florida. Went to high school at South Fork High School, which is over towards Stewart. Played sports, baseball mainly, but I played all three sports. I didn't play. Baseball and football. I excelled in baseball and went on and played American Legion Baseball later on, and ended up playing college baseball after that for 2 years at a junior college in West Palm Beach, and that's pretty much a wrap on the whole baseball career. And then moved back up here and then started running heavy equipment for a guy outside of Indiantown by the name of Bob Sheltra, and went to a party one night, and Robbie Brady was at the party, and he asked me what I was doing, and I said, well, I was running heavy equipment, and he asked me to come to work for him, doing the same exact thing, but piling pine trees. Otherwise, we were just clearing land. So that got me to Brady Ranch the first time. Just kind of where I met Joey. I knew Joey. He lived out on Fox Brown Road, and my dad had a little handful of cows in a little pasture there behind his house, and My dad was friend with Norman Stokes, who had the lease at the time, and I knew who he was. And for me to end up working for Joey for 20 years is kind of odd, but I did.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. So, but your baseball deal, I thought you went to college for baseball. You went away.
No, I went to West Palm Beach.
Oh,
That's as far as I went for the baseball thing.
Yeah.
I went to in American Legion baseball, which was a travel ball of the 80s. There was no travel ball then. Everybody played American Legion baseball. We ended up in 86 won the World Series of American Legion baseball in Rapid City, South Dakota. And after that, I got my scholarship to play at Palm Beach Junior College, and I did. I went my 2 years down there, and that was pretty much it. I mean, I'd wipe my arm out.
Oh, I got you. You were pitching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like when you first came to, you came here, didn't you?
Came here
To Brady Ranch.
after running heavy equipment for a year or so, and then meeting Robbie at that party, and then him coming to work for Robbie. And that's basically, I was running the heavy equipment, but it was a cow ranch. So Robbie's mama was here, and so she was like, well, we need some help with the cows. So then I get on a horse. I had no idea what I was doing. I just went with them, and we kind of scared them to the corner and put them in a lane and drove them to the cow pens. And that's how it kind of all started.
Wow. So that was your first experience was horseback here.
I mean, I had rode a horse as a kid, but when I went with my dad, did a little, maybe I was riding a pony or something, and kind of helped out that way. But met Joey. Joey was doing the hunting. Started the hunting business. Started Frank doing the hunting business with the axis deer and all that stuff. And then he was piddling with some cows over here. And I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm gonna hang around this guy. Anyway, Joey had some cows bought from, I think it was Joe Peoples. They were Brahma cows. And he had them in the pens over there one day. And at around 21, 22 years old, I was fairly athletic. And I could jump over that fence back in two. Well, he was in there parting some cows, and he had me to come over there and help him. And he said, jump over there and bring them cows. When I got in that pen with them cows, it was like getting in there with a bunch of Bengal tigers. I mean, every one of these cows would catch you. So I run and get away to jump over the fence in that pen. Well, there's a bunch more in there that'll do the same thing, So it was like I'm on top of the fence, and he's just dying laughing because he knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was just fast enough to get away from him.
For sure. So he just threw you to the wolves.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So
then and he started hauling me, and from here, he would use me and take me down to the Cypress. And that's the first time I went down there. I had a really nice camp in the Cypress at the time, which was a metal building with a shower and hot and cold running water, and it had a kitchen area and a sleeping area. It was kind of all combined in about the same size as this, but everything was combined except the bathroom. So that was an experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was your first time, was when you went down there was like 22, 23? Kind of, sort of?
Yeah, I think so. It was somewhere in there.
But you didn't have a whole lot of experience horseback at that time.
I didn't. Just watching Joey and what he did with the cows and with the dogs especially. And down there, it's a necessity to have it because it's 10,000 acres with no cross fences in it, with a crevice at the south end and a crevice at the north end. So you had to handle them there. You couldn't chase them to the corner and make them go where you want them to go. That's not going to happen.
No.
So they were really scared of a dog.
Yeah, was it like culture shock though when you went down there the first time? Where you're like,
well, it's culture shock was the very first morning we walked out of the camp, and they killed a cottonmouth moccasin right in the front yard of the camp. That was pretty much a culture shock.
Yeah.
I mean, a big one too. It wasn't a little one. It was a good one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the Wild West down there.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
So but what did he do? Did he turn you out and you just were like, he's like, all right, we're going this direction.
You go riding in direction to a certain area. Once you start crossing some sign, and dogs went to work.
Yeah.
They had to trail them just like dogs trail deer down there.
Oh, you're not really getting a visual on them for a while.
You're not getting a visual on them at all, hardly. Every once in a while, you'll come to a little clearing, and there'll be some cows in there, but the dogs had already found them by then. Oh. It's not like you're going to ride up on them.
Yeah, you don't ride up on them and set your dog.
One field in particular that you could, and we call it the North Field, that you could go there, and there would be cattle in there most of the time. Mm-hmm. So would you stay in the Cypress and send your dogs to them cows that are there? And cows would come for 20 minutes to them dogs barking. That's how scared they were of a dog.
For 20 minutes, you'd sit there.
They'd sit there and wait. They just kept coming out of the woods, and herds just start getting bigger and bigger.
Wow. And you just camp out the first light.
Hang out.
Just hang out, wait on them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the whole process though of gathering cattle in that kind of country, I mean, kind of describe to me what you would do when you'd ride off. So I know you started to kind of touch base with, we're going to ride until we see some fresh sign, which makes sense for sure. But describe to me that kind of round. You're in 10,000 acres or whatever it is with no cross fences, and this is one of those deals where, I mentioned, or he mentioned Big Cypress to me when I talked to him on the podcast. But it's just, in retrospect, you see all the questions you missed. And that's what I wanted to ask him. So was stuff about just like, okay, tell me about how you gather it. So luckily now you can tell me, kind of the method.
Sometimes we would split up the crew. One would go to the south end, one would go to the north end. Joey was pretty much in charge of that. I was kind of just riding. I was going along, and then later on, he would, because he knew this place like the back of his hand. He could just ride off. He'd ride off in the dark in a direction and wind up where he was supposed to be. It was the darndest thing.
Wow.
They had, like I say, those little clearings like that north field. That was always a hot spot, so we're going to go there first. There was a couple smaller fields in between there and the camp. There was one I think they called a pea field, one called Bailey's, where there was an old airstrip. It was overgrown with myrtles. We'd go to there. There's always cattle there. You'd pick them up and just kind of bump them along as you go. But that north field was always pretty hot. I mean, and depending on the time of the year that you gathered it, that's a certain time of the year, second week of May is when Joey liked to go, because that's when the horseflies hatch out in the big cypress. And a lot of people don't know this, but it's worse than anything you've ever seen. It's worse than mosquitoes. It's worse than, I don't know. It's unbelievable. So you wouldn't get up early like we normally do around here. You get up early and get started early. We don't wait till 10 o'clock before we'd ever ride off, because the horseflies have time to bunch the cows for you. There were so many horseflies that the cow would not be by herself because the horseflies would eat her up so bad. It was unbelievable. Your horse, it was unmerciful on him. From his ears to the saddle pad, you couldn't put your finger in between the horseflies on his neck.
No way.
His rump was completely shingled with horseflies. And you could beat them off with this stick or whatever, and they just come right back. And I was riding a colt one time, and he was really super head shy. It's like anything got around his head, like your hand or anything, his head would just go to flying. So you could cut you a myrtle limb and swat them horseflies off his neck, and he'd be jumping until he realizes what you're doing.
Yeah.
If he knows that you're taking them horseflies off of him, he'd bend his nose around there so you could knock him off his nose. And they would take the bits in their mouth and just run into a myrtle bush and just shake all the horseflies off them, and you weren't stopping it. They were going.
That happened to you multiple times.
Yeah.
So this is in the second week of May.
Second week of May. I'm almost positive that's when it was. It's when the horseflies hatch out. That's a good time to gather them because the cow will not be by herself.
Wow. It was just easier to gather that they were together.
Yeah. They bunched them up like dogs. It's basically like dogs. I mean, they were in two different bunches in that 10,000 acres. One at the north end, one down on the glades in the south end.
Dude.
And it was incredible.
That's actually
look. I mean, literally, you'd be driving cows down a buggy trail, and she decides, "Oh, I'm not going to stay here no more," and leaves. Joey said, "Don't set the dogs on her. She'll be back. Horseflies will bring her back, guarantee it." She said, She will not stay out there by herself." It's incredible.
They are that rank on them.
They're bad.
What about on you? Surely.
Not so much. I mean, they ever want to get on every once in a while, but
really,
plenty of cows and horses. I mean, still firm to land on.
So if they were alone in that environment, they're going to die.
Absolutely, they'll kill her.
Just suck them dry.
Yeah,
I mean, literally,
yes.
That would be a skeleton.
Yep.
Now, how does the bunch? How do the ones on the outside are just constantly fighting to get in?
Horseflies are on them all, but there's safety in numbers, same as the effect of the dog. The dogs. I mean, they would just be ringing. And on my way down there, the first time I went the second week of May, I'm on my way down there driving through McDaniel's Ranch, just north of the reservation. I could see these cows out there, and they're just ringing like there's dogs are circling them. I mean, they're ringing, and I'm like, what in the? I'm like, I don't even see nobody out there. I'm looking out the window of the truck, and Joey said, that ain't no dogs out there. It's them horseflies got them.
That's insane. You don't see that right here.
No.
Not at all.
That's the only place I've ever seen it.
Wow. So that's like an area dependent thing. It's just kind of a cypress deal down there.
So.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And then they just over it What, after a few weeks, the horseflies
Horseflies die
disperse?
off.
Yeah, they die off.
Yeah. In a few, I mean, maybe it's months. But
Dude, you want to talk about a rank place to be. That sounds terrible.
yeah. It'd put them cows in a bunch. You
Yeah,
can get all your calves
seriously.
that way.
Yeah, I bet you will. I bet you will. So that was your first kind of experience on a true round,
Yeah, setting cowboy around here and back 100 years.
dude, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I could see it.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. I'm glad I got to do it.
Dude, absolutely. So some of the stuff that you were doing though, down there, you're making big rounds, you're holding stuff up for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about handling the cattle.
I mean, handling them, you wanted somebody in the front of them, and when somebody driving them. And when we started down those narrow buggy trails through the cypress, you wanted people siding them. If the horseflies weren't bad, if there was no horseflies, then people had to be siding them. But it wasn't a big deal. I mean, they're going to come out on the other side, and we're going to set the dogs on them, whatever. But it was interesting.
Those cattle never did try you, really? They were just so dog broke? Or they did?
They were definitely dog broke. Joey bought some scrubs from Norman Stokes that wasn't so dog broke though, some just full-blooded scrubs, and put them down there. Now we had to hammer on them pretty good to get them right, but
Yeah.
we got them.
You got them right eventually?
Yeah.
So what age did you go and transition from here to J&R Outfitters?
24, I think.
Because that was your next step after
I left here and went to. I think I was 24 when I went to work for Joey.
Because when you were going to Big Cypress and stuff like that, were you full time with him yet? Or
No,
you were just going.
No, I started. He would take me down there, but I was working here. And
who else went with you guys down there?
I think at the time it was Joey, Danny McFarland, Mike Greer, a fellow named Chris Mature. He was there, and whoever they brought along to help out.
Yeah, and you guys camped.
Yeah,
There
we
was
had
no-
to. I mean, it's 100 miles back to the house.
Yeah, there's no turning around and just coming back home.
At the time, when we first started, it had a nice camp.
Mhm.
Now later on, it was a camp. Now you had a fire outside. It was a screened in building, and we slept in the night air.
Oh,
And
wow.
oddly enough, being that far south, about 3:00 in the morning, you got very cold. You went to pulling covers, and when that fog went through there,
Mhm.
it was pretty cool.
There was something about. It's funny that you say that though, because when I worked in the sugarcane, my old boss told me that particular area. So where I was working was due south of the lake,
Mhm.
off of 27, but it's not near as far south as where you guys are at in the Big Cypress. But he said, being the closer you are to the lake or whatever it is, the warmer it's going to be. So the
Mhm.
further you get away, even though you're going further south,
Agreed.
it's for whatever reason, it's just colder. That water's not holding that heat.
I mean, you wasn't like you're freezing in the middle of the night. It wasn't
It's
like it was
chilly.
50 degrees in there. I mean, if you're there in the wintertime, it got pretty chilly. It was
Yeah.
just that night air coming through that camp.
For sure. Carlos told me too, like he said that when he would go down there, Carlos went with you guys a little bit down to
Carlos, I think the other side, he may have went to Joey's side. I don't remember it distinctly, but I know Carlos was on the other side. I think Norman Stokes had a place on the other side they called Bullhead.
That's it. That's what he told me.
He went there a lot.
Yeah, that's what he told me. Dude, he told me those cypress heads in there were he said there were cypress heads as big as Box Ranch down in that place.
Ain't that something?
It's just steadily cypress trees. Anywhere that it wasn't a cypress tree though, what was the environment like?
It was myrtles. Wax
Myrtles.
myrtle, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
It wasn't like Bahia pasture.
No.
Yeah.
No, the only grass was down there. I think Joey planted it. It was like torpedo grass. And I think he disked it up and kind of sprigged some torpedo grass down through them glades. What they call the glades was all the way up next to Duda.
Mhm.
And it through the buggies and the hunting traffic and all that stuff, when it was wet, it just carried that torpedo grass off into that cypress. Well, it just spread throughout the whole place. So
Oh,
it was a
wow.
fairly good place if the conditions were right.
Yeah, he told me that when it was wet, it was unbelievably wet.
Yeah, it was the whole place was underwater except a few spots where a cow could lay down.
Wow.
It started. We were driving some cows down those glades one time, and it started. Your storm came up, and literally, Mitchell, your horse was kicking up dust in that sand, and that white sand on them glades, and that storm hit us in there, and lightning and everything else. And when we pulled away from everything with them cows, it rained and lightning so bad that that lightning scares me.
Me too.
And it should scare everybody. But
It should.
I figured Joey and them were just sitting over on their horses with their slickers on, just taking it, and the cows were all standing there taking it. And I just started loping my horse around in a circle. I said, if it's going to hit me, it's going to hit me running. I'm not going to stand. I'm not just going to stand here and take it,
Seriously.
Really, I did. I mean, I did for I don't know how long until when the rain stopped. It was ankle deep on them horses and them cows when we
You're
walked away.
kidding me.
I mean, it put it down. I've never seen anything like it.
And you guys were stuck in the middle of it.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah, nowhere.
I mean, it's 6 miles back to the camp.
You got to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
Dude, and you're just steadily loping your
So
horse.
much fun.
Yeah, so much fun. Steadily loping your horse. That's what I would do. Steadily loping your horse.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So yeah, what was the transition like after that? Like, you're headed back from Big Cypress or whatever. What, did he just offer you a job? Like, how did it work to where you went full time over there?
Well, that's probably another story in itself. But I came down the road, left here. I seen Joey on the road. He stopped me, and he says, "You need a job, don't you?" I said, "Yes, I do." And he said, "I'll see you Monday morning." And I started then, and I had all my crap in my truck.
Yeah.
And Joey lived in the house, and he had another office trailer that we used there for as a lodge. It had bunk beds and stuff in there. Well, that's where I moved into that lodge right there, and I lived right beside him and Liz.
Wow.
In that little office trailer.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So you started on Monday and you stayed there for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I mean, that was off and on, but it rocked on 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it like? What were you guys like? What were you hunting? What was the deal like at JNR?
Mostly birds.
Mostly birds.
Birds. At when I went to work for Joey, it was all birds, and hogs. We did hogs also. But it was it was dark to dark. I can tell you that every day, 7 days a week for 6 months, from April. From October 1st to April 20th. The season.
Yeah.
It was dark to dark every day, 7 days.
Wow.
And it would wear on you.
I bet it would.
Yeah.
That was one of my questions. Was it easy
when we
to
got
get
done
burned
bird
out?
hunting, we'd get done bird hunting, eat lunch with the clients at noon. If we didn't have a bird hunt that afternoon, we'd go fool with the cow somewhere all afternoon, which was, enjoyable. But, it literally, we'd get in the truck, saddle our horses, put them on the trailer, and head to Hope Sound. Joey had cattle in Hope Sound at the time. And I would be just dozing off. I'd just go to sleep in the truck. Pull up there from Fox Brown Road to 710. He'd hit me and go, "Anything coming?" I said, "Yeah, all them people get off at 5 o'clock. Everybody's coming." And he didn't think that was very funny.
Yeah. He likes to work.
Oh, yeah. Some of the workingest human beings when I first met him I've ever seen.
Yeah. He loved to work.
Yeah.
But he had already had JNR established? So when you went there, it was already
Right.
JNR.
Right.
Gotcha. Did he have any of the water buffalo and stuff there?
No. It was all birds and hogs.
All birds and hogs. No axis deer.
No, nothing. It wasn't game fenced till later on.
So before we get into the game fence stuff, what was your guys' procedure for those birds and stuff? Because you've explained it to me before about the semi trailer and all that stuff. So
Right.
what was the daily routine when you were bird hunting back then? Give me a day.
Go put birds out before daylight in the morning.
What time is that typically?
But there was already birds established in there, so we just kind of start snowballing them in there. You wouldn't even have to put the birds out in the morning because there were so many birds in the woods and we fed them so good but them birds that are already established out there, these people that are coming can't shoot them birds, but they can shoot them dumb ones that you put out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what that amounted to about putting them out every morning because we needed to get birds killed. Them ones that had been out there for a couple of weeks, he ain't shooting them.
They know the drill.
They know the drill. They know what's up.
They see that dog show up and they're pulling out.
Yeah. They get trained that we used to run a beeper collar on the bird dogs. And I literally see 150 birds get up from that beeper collar standing there on point. So when he was running, it would beep every 5 seconds. And when he was point, because a lot of times you can't see the bird dog because they're in heavy cover.
100%.
When he's on point over there, it beeps every second. Dee, dee, dee. So I've actually seen birds just lift and go. That's some birds that have been out there for a while.
Yeah.
They just from the beeper collar, because we were nowhere near them, not with the flush dog. When I first started with Joey, we didn't use flush dogs. We kicked them up.
Did you really?
Which is hard on your hearing.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, because if you got a hunter here and you got a hunter here, and you walk into where a couple of dogs on point, you got to walk past him. Now it may put you in even with the muzzle, or maybe just in front of it. Oof. So if you didn't go ahead and plug up, you're gonna get four real quick.
Yeah, you're gonna get four. No doubt. Not only does that put a little damper on your hearing, but might put a damper on your health.
They were pretty good guys then. It gradually, the more business that you do, that riffraff starts coming off the street. They never shot before. You ain't doing that for them. No way.
No.
They would shoot you.
I'm sure. Dude,
the imaginary line that you can't. Yeah. You got to shoot those birds, and this guy's got to shoot those birds. Don't cross that line.
They see him cross the line. They're like, I just can't help it.
Yeah.
And they're swinging and shooting. It's a dangerous thing. So you kept those birds in that trailer, though. Why'd you keep them in that trailer? You couldn't let any light in the trailer. What was that about?
We kept them in the flight house.
The flight house.
Which is nothing more than a 40-foot reefer trailer. Had a vent, had water, had feed, had everything in there. Kept them in there, and they're in the dark, and they never saw anybody. And when we went to feed them, or we had to fill the feeders up inside there, we went and did it in the dark. That keeps them wild. Mm-hmm. But if you keep birds in a pen and you walk around them all the time, they're not going to fly very well.
No, they become docile.
Sure.
Right?
So the next thing they go from the dark trailer to the dark woods, and the next thing they see is a 50-pound lab hitting right in the middle of them. They're going to get airborne.
Yeah, no doubt. So that was the purpose, was to keep them wild.
Sure.
And you just get a shipment in from the hatchery, unload them,
boxes of them,
boxes and boxes.
So much fun getting in there. Birds flying all over you, crap all over you.
Yeah, seriously. So that wasn't super fun. And would you just grab you 12 or so and spin them up in a bag and put them
out? No, we had crates, and the night before we'd run them in the crate. That way they couldn't eat all night. But when you put them out in the morning, you cast some feed out on the ground and then start popping them out of that little crate. And they'd fly right out of the top of that thing. Yeah. So you use the top notch, you put your hand in there and bump them a little bit, and put your 5 in a covey or 6 in a covey, here and there, scatter it out. It worked really well the way Joey did it, because them birds, the transition from the time you got done putting those coveys out, and the time you got back to now it's done got daylight. Well, birds start whistling in the daylight when it gets daylight in the morning. Well, they then whistled a bunch of their wild buddies in there with them. So you can't. When the covey rides, there's no telling how many birds are going to get up.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a Johnny house thing.
Yeah.
Where you put the bird in the Johnny house.
It was a good method. What was the buggy that you guys were hunting off of? What did it look like?
We hunted Toyota pickup trucks.
A pickup truck.
With a dog box on the back of it, and it had a seat. That's where the client sat. It had a ladder going up the side. And
same as our rig that I use.
Yeah. It's Toyotas. You couldn't tear them up.
Yeah.
They were good. Yeah. And if it was tore up, you could just keep on driving it.
For sure. Which I'm sure you guys did.
Yeah, we did.
And that was, you had a 2 a day, right?
A lot of times, yeah. Later on, once they moved to the other house, and the business was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. We were turning some birds out.
I'm sure.
4 trucks a day.
Yeah. All the time. 7 days a week.
Sometimes we run 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon.
Jeez. So what was the transition, though, from the birds to any kind of exotic game? When did that happen? When he got?
I don't remember the year. I might have come back to work over here. I don't know if it was when my daughter was being born, or I can't remember exactly how it all worked. But time I went back to work for Joey, he had already done some high fence and had exotics and had water buffalo and all that.
Okay.
Take that back. He did have water buffalo. He did have water buffalo and low fence. That's where we got into all the, the neighbors calling you. They're not going to call you about a deer getting on their place, but they're definitely going to call you about that water buffalo being there. That's a whole, me and Joey had roped some water buffalo.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How many do you guys really think you did rope? Hundreds, for real?
Maybe not 100, maybe 30 or 40, I'm sure.
That's plenty to get done.
You don't really keep count. You try to
survive.
Yeah, try to survive. It's hard on horses, hard on dogs. We had a lot of fun doing it.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's not for the meek and mild.
No.
You can't hurt one of these things. You can't, like a normal cow or bull or something, like you can choke him, but you can't. These don't choke easy. He's gonna get some slack somewhere when you.
What is their behavior like? What is it like when you had to go rope one? Like, think about a time where you guys got called and you had to go rope one, and it was like just this unbelievable deal where you're trying to survive getting it done.
It got to be a game between me and Joey, and a lot of people wanted to go do it, and then it kind of weeded them out pretty quick, because it's rough. It's rough.
He mentioned that.
It got to be a game, trying to who can get the horse off there first enough, can line this thing out and get a rope on him, and I wasn't the best roper in the world, and Joey was not the best roper in the world, but we managed to get him caught.
Yeah.
One way or another. But if a water buffalo, I had a knack for catching them. I don't know why, because I wasn't a very good roper, but I could catch this thing. If it fell over his nose and you got him around the neck, and you didn't get good slack, and you got him like a bridle, or deep in his. You want to get that situated pretty quick. You don't want to get you don't want it to be like a breast collar on him, because he can pull. This thing will pull on you. When you rope him around the horns, the way his horns are configured, the rope would lay right in his eyes, and that makes him rise and jump like a big sailfish, 2,000-pound sailfish rising and jumping. So either way, you got something. I rode a pretty good horse at the time. That he handled it. He never got jerked down. He was tough as iron.
Boing Boing.
That's him. Boing Boing.
Boing Boing. Where did Boing Boing come from?
Mike Greer got him from Skeeter Anderson in Davie, and Joey got him from Mike, and he's pretty much there. That's your horse. So me and Boing Boing got along. He was tough as iron.
Really?
Yeah. So I was at the age where I just want to spur him and spin him in a circle all the time.
Yeah.
I kind of burned him out on that later on in life, but
he tough.
He could pull hell off the hinges.
I bet he could, especially dealing with a water buffalo.
Yeah. But I tell you one thing you can't do is outrun a water buffalo in the water, because he's a water buffalo for a reason. So me and Joey, quite a few of them got out. We're in this big slough. Joey's on one side of the slough for some reason. I'm on this other side. And we kind of squeeze it. Then it's belly deep on your horse. And we're kind of easing them buffalo back to where they came from. And I don't know exactly what we figured we were going to do with them, but when one of them buffaloes spied me up there on that bank, well, here he come. And Joey's just laughing on the other side. I can hear him laughing because I'm spurring Boing Boing for everything he's worth trying to get out of the way of this thing. And I'm not gaining any ground. I don't think Boing Boing realizes the danger we're in right now. Well, I am spurring him from 3 and 9 just as hard as I can hit him. And we ain't gaining. This thing's gaining on us. He feels like he's right in the tail of my horse right here, trying to hook me. Anyway, I get away from him. And I can't remember I'm sure we got one of them buffalo roped. Well, we didn't go over there to not rope one. I can tell you that, but it's an adventure.
So you got away from him though.
I got away from him. He didn't hook me. I never got Boing Boing. He never got hooked by one. He was super athletic.
They can run in the water like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, you can't. They're not. It's unbelievable.
It's like an airboat.
Water. Yeah. People don't know this, but a water buffalo completely submerge himself like a hippopotamus too. A bovine can't do that.
You've seen that?
I've seen that.
Completely submerged.
Completely underwater. I seen one come up in front of my airboat going down the canal in a marsh at Joey's place. Dude. It just come right up in front of me and right over the top. Cause he was, wasn't this much of his back sticking out of the water, but I seen his head. Luckily, I missed his horns right over the top of him.
Dude. Now, from what I remember when I spoke to Joey, those were all bulls in there.
All bulls, yeah.
No cows.
No
cows, because they get just rank over a cow.
Yeah, they just fight all the time. And what happened is, you're trying to avoid. Joey was smart that way, because if you had them cows in there, then these bulls are going to fight over these cows. Well, now when two bulls are fighting, somebody's going to get injured, and then they're going to, we did bird hunts in there every day. Now for an injured buffalo, and we're 300 yards from the truck, and this fellow that's 75 years old out there bird hunting, he can't get away.
For sure.
And if there's a broke leg buffalo, I promise you, he's mad. So we never had that confrontation with buffalo. Every once in a while, you'd have an issue with them bird hunting, but
the route that you guys bird hunted in had buffalo?
Everything's in there together. There was nothing separated. Buffalo were where it's not like, oh, here's a buffalo pen and this is the axis deer pen and this is where we're going to go quail hunting. It was all in the same place.
No way, dude. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You guys bird hunted
With
where
buffalo.
the water buffalo were.
Absolutely.
Never had a run in with them.
Well, I mean, you had run-ins, but you know, you as a guide, you gotta see the situation. Let's just warm this thing up with some birdshot and get him on out of here. You know, so that's what we did.
warm them up a little bit and clear the way.
Yeah, so we can bird hunt.
Yeah, for real, dude. So more on roping them though. What is it like? What is it like when you actually get one roped? I mean, you got to have someone there to back you up right quick, because surely he's gonna swap ends and try to come up that rope.
I mean, he does. I mean, you got to ride. Yeah, and Joey, if he caught him first, I'd be right there to stick it on him too. If I caught him first, he'd do the same thing. And we tried to get him down, which is another thing. You can get him down, but he'd be right back on his feet before you could do anything with him. But we managed to get them all on the trailer, and yeah, it was tough on animals. It's tough on your horse's back for sure. Getting him in that trailer, you know, it's one of them things. You hold him, I'm gonna run my rope up through the trailer, pop it out the other side, and be fast when you do it.
Yeah,
because this thing's steadily pulling on you.
Yeah, they don't just stand there for very long.
They're not real docile. Yeah, so there was an instance where they had one got out that and I don't know if Joey had told you about the one that Joey used to have a horse named Alpo.
No, he didn't tell me about Alpo.
Alpo Joey had given the Alpo to Danny McFarland, and Joey couldn't go with us on this buffalo roping. I don't know why. He must have had a hunt or something, but he sent me and Danny McFarland over to the place behind us to get this water buffalo. So we went over there and we found him, and we had a handful of dogs with us, and I lined him out and I one-horned him as usual. That's my favorite trick. Catch him by one horn.
Classic maneuver.
And he goes off in this giant horse and palmetto patch and bays up in there like a hog. Dogs are in there. He says, yow, 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 yow. I just start circling that thing. Then maybe they'll put enough pressure on him, he'll eventually come on out of there. He had no intentions of coming out of there. Anyway, Danny rides in there on his horse, on Alpo.
Mm-hmm.
And that buffalo run into him in there, gutted that horse. And he come leading him out of there with his guts hanging out. And eventually had to put him down. But
for sure.
Buffalo, so that happened. So we give up on the buffalo for that day. And then Joey and I and Danny went back the next day. Well, the next day I didn't miss him. I didn't want to horn him the next day. I caught him the next day. And it seems like there was a yearling or something with him, a buffalo yearling. And somehow or another, I roped the bull, and Joey rode up there to catch him with me, and ended up catching the bull and the calf in the same loop. And somehow or another, he ended up with the calf, and I ended up with the bull by myself. And the only picture taken of that whole extravaganza of us roping in buffalo, Liz was there on top of the horse trailer, and I finally get this bull down there. I mean, the dogs are tearing this sucker up. And I think he tore some dogs up too.
Yeah, for sure.
And she took a picture of me and Boing Boing. He's just standing there like that, you know, both feet out. Huh. And Buffalo's down in the ditch with dogs all over him. And I think that's the only picture that I know of that was taken of us.
All those buffalo.
Otherwise, it's just me and Joey telling about the buffalo roping.
Yeah, that was the only one.
I think so.
So what ended up happening though when you guys were each on your own? How did you guys handle that? How'd you get them on a trailer?
Well, Joey ended up, I think he left his horse, tied that calf down the ditch bank. He come over to me. I think I got him down. I don't remember exactly. Maybe Danny was there. Maybe Danny caught him by the hind feet or something happened. And we got a rope run through the trailer and we sucked him on there.
Now, they're not, like, a lot of times if you rope a bull and you open the trailer gates, he might hunt it, and he might want to get on that trailer. This
thing ain't doing that.
No, he doesn't want to get on the trailer.
He don't want to get on that trailer. He wants to kill somebody.
Now, are they bigger than, like, a big Charolais bull or Brangus bull? Surely they're bigger.
it seems like they're thicker. See, like these cow shoots over here. I mean, Joey always said, I think they made a buck and shoots 32 inches, and the biggest bull, some of the biggest bulls in the world get in there with a man's leg on either side of him. He won't hardly go down through there, so he's wider, thicker, and lower center of gravity.
Really?
So, yeah.
They're just built different.
Yeah.
Big, giant hoof.
I mean, they pulled plowed with them in rice paddies. You can't bog one of these things down. He is not bogging down. He'll run across the place where you couldn't drive a cow across it.
No way.
His feet's as big.
Dude, that's insane.
He'll run across it. You couldn't drive a cow out in there.
And he'll run across it.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
No problem.
In the muckiest, nastiest stuff you've ever seen.
You see them, what is it, in Vietnam?
Yeah. That's
in
what they
rice
use.
paddies, they're boggy.
But how are those the same buffalo that are domesticated? These things sound like they'll kill you for sure. The stuff here.
They starved them to death and beat them with a stick, I guess. And they didn't look like Joey's buffalo as far as physical condition.
Yeah.
I mean, these ones he had
Prime.
they were fat. They were ready.
Prime condition. Yeah. What was it like hunting them?
It was a ball. It was a ball hunt.
Was it?
Oh, he thing can take some lead. Oh yeah.
So like you guys would be footback, from what I understand.
That's the only way we'd hunt them.
Footback.
Yeah, unless we got one wounded and went off in a pretty bad place.
Yeah.
And then we just, we'd drive in them. And most of the time it's a palmetto patch, and he'd go in there wounded. You don't want to be in there with him.
No.
Just ask Alpo.
For real. For real. It's not a good situation.
Yeah.
So the whole deal though is like if you have a client, you see a buffalo in the field or woods or wherever you're at.
You glass them. You glass a bunch of them. What kind do you want? I mean, there's two different kinds. I think it was a swamp and a river. The swamp being more like the Australian buffalo, where his horns were flat out like this, and the river had to drop and curl like a Cape buffalo. It looked a lot like a Cape. He was solid black, but the swamp had the white feet and white in his ears and the white chevron on his chest, I think is how it went. The rivers were jet black like a Cape buffalo. Two different types.
Oh, I didn't know you had two different types because I'm imagining the horns that go straight back.
No.
That's not them.
Uh-uh.
These are
more of a swooping back.
Swoop.
They kind of swoop straight back. And they're not all the same,
they vary, I'm sure, just like a cow's horns.
Or deer, all deer ain't the same.
Was one of those particular subspecies more aggressive than the other?
I don't think so. I think they were all pretty mean.
They were all super mean.
Yeah.
So you guys would be just walking with your client though.
We walk with the client, walk through the woods, glass a bunch of them. You glass a lot of them from the truck, and from a distance. And guy, that's the one I want right there. That's the one. I mean, if he wanted a certain, I think it was like 90 inches was the that's the circumference of each base, length of each horn, all added together, a 90 incher. If he wanted that one, or if he wanted one lesser than that, more of a management with buffalo, broke horn, something, something like. And however they wanted, whatever you wanted, that's what I'd look for, and then go from there and make your stalk. But don't mean it's always going to work out.
Yeah,
because you may be confronted with some other water buffalo that you didn't see before you got to the one that you wanted to shoot.
Dude.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if they see you though? Are they aggressive enough to come across the pasture to you, or no?
Sometimes they were, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would be scared and run away.
Yeah, he would run out like if you scared, like if he was laying in the ditch wallowing, like because they wallow just like a hog, and you didn't see him, and you walk somewhere near him, he would come out of there and just swap ends on you, and you think, well, here he comes. Mm-hmm. So you need to retreat on that until if he gets over aggressive, then we got to shoot him. But a lot of times he'll just kind of look at you off the end of his nose, and then he'll go on, but not always.
You got charged?
I mean, I've been, I think was a charge, but I'm not positive that he was coming for us when we were shooting a buffalo, never just kind of making a stalk. I never got charged making a stalk, but I don't know if I got charged or I was in the path of where he was trying to get away of. He didn't know where the bullets were coming from, and I got to shoot him. That's all I know.
For sure.
Yeah. If he makes a step towards me and the client, he's getting a hail of bullets.
Yeah, exactly. What were you shooting?
458 lot.
458.
500 grain bullet.
What was Joey told me it was a Nitro Express of some kind is what he was shooting.
No, Joey shoots he was shooting 470 at the time.
Yeah, 470.
I think he graduated and went, he was in Africa every summer here, winter there. He was in Africa and summer here. Mm-hmm. He graduated and did some bigger guns than that, I think. But The 458 lot was good.
It was pretty rank.
Yeah, he had a friend of his, James Hare, make a 458 Winchester Magnum and board it out to a 458 lot, which made it shoot a 500 grain bullet with a, it looked like a cigar.
Yeah.
It was big. It was not fun to shoot, but if you needed to shoot it, it was handy because it was going to peel the paint when it hit.
Seriously, it definitely was going to peel the paint. How many times were you guys shooting those water buffalo though? Could you kill one with one shot, or typically never?
No, you could kill one with one shot. Shot placement a lot of times wasn't because we're not shooting it. Me and Joey aren't shooting a thing. It was the clients are shooting it. Not saying they're not the best shot in the world, but they're not the best shot in the world.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Shot placement's obviously key. Like shooting anything is shot placement. It never was just right.
You always had to either back him up or shoot him again.
I saw a guy shoot one. I think when we walked away from the buggy to make our stalk, he asked me, how many bullets should I take? I said, take the whole box. And I think there's 20 rounds in the box. Or it wasn't a full box, but he shot the whole box. Dude. And I shot him too.
Really?
It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. This thing was soaking him up like a sponge.
Yeah.
I mean, big bullets. The guy was shooting a 375. I'm shooting 500 grain bullet. And it's just not a good initial shot.
Yeah.
And he went out there and swapped ends, and we just kept shooting.
Make it rain.
He went down. Sucker. I mean, I ended up shooting him for the last time, and he went down. But it was,
dude.
Yeah, they're tough.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, the skin on them is this thick.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So after you kill one, what do? Picture time. You bring a buggy to get him out. What do you do? Front end loader to bring him out.
We get front end loaders. What Joey had, we'd bring the front end loader so sometimes you could roll them up cow fashion and get them, but it's a lot easier to do it with the bucket of the loader. So you could get him up in cow fashion position to pose and take the picture. Take the picture, either pick him up with the front end loader, or we needed a trailer to drag him up on the trailer. And that's when the work started. So
I was about to say
they're big. They're big critters,
dude. Yeah, after did you have like a designated trailer where he just slapped you? You did?
Yeah.
The buffalo trailer.
Somebody bring the trailer. We got to get this thing. It's not like you're going to throw him on the tailgate of the truck.
No, there's literally no way. So after, that's definitely when the work starts. After you get him on the trailer, you bring him back. What does the skinning shed look like over there when you're doing that?
A lot of the meat was donated to Dunklin. And a lot of times we just keep him on the trailer, take him right on over there because they had all the automatic winches and everything. And we would do our cape, cut the head, load it up in the truck, and come back to camp. And they donated, a client wanted to donate the meat. The meat stayed there.
How do they eat? Trashy?
Make a lot of hamburger. Let's just say that.
They're not that good.
They're not that good.
Really?
No.
Really no comparison to a cow?
No.
Wow. No. What is it about them?
I mean, I don't know. It's the
musky?
gaminess and being,
swampy?
Maybe. I don't know if he kept one up and fed it like he would a good beef. Would it be any better? I don't know. We didn't do that.
Yeah. They're eating the natural grasses that I guess a cow would eat.
Yeah.
Or is he eating something else? Is he down there in that mud?
No, they eat grass too.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. They only kind of wallow up in the water whenever they're.
Yeah. They'll do it. As many as Joey had. I mean, they do a good job of cleaning the hyacinths out of your canal. I don't know if they ate them or just walking around in them and pushing them out of the way, and it just bank them up, and that canal it'd clear it right out.
Yeah. One of those first stories you told me though, when we were riding in that truck, you told me that when they would hang those water buffalo up at Dunklin, sometimes they would straighten the hooks out.
Yeah. They hung big animals. I mean, that's what they did at this butcher shop all the time. And some of the bulls that we brought over there would straighten the steel hook would be this big around. Take the hook, take the curve right out of it, and he'd hit the ground.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's
unreal.
And
they had to tie his legs on there.
Yeah. And winch him up.
You don't want to be under that when it falls, for sure.
Dude's heavy. You guys never did string one up, though, at your guys' place? You did.
We did it there before.
Yeah, you did.
If the client wanted to keep the meat, we'd string him up right there or hang him off a front end loader bucket, something like that.
Jeez. You want to talk about clean something. You guys were probably there, midnight, 1 in the morning?
No, I mean.
Not quite?
No.
But it was a late night.
It was late, yeah. Didn't know what time he shot him. Shot him in the morning.
Do you guys have a walk-in cooler and stuff like you do here? Yeah. Where you just bring them in and let them chill.
Yep. Hanging on hooks.
Yeah. Also, too, he was telling me now that I'm thinking about it, loading and unloading those water buffalo from a trailer. Unloading them sounds like it's almost as hard and dangerous.
Getting them off the trailer
Yeah.
a lot of times is some buffalo. I think Joey had roped this. We had roped two. I think they were 3-year-old bulls, and one of them got off the trailer, but the one that Joey had roped was on the front of the trailer, and we ended up, throwing some dead palmetto fans and lighting them on fire to burn him out of there. And finally, he burned. It wasn't burning the animal, but it scared him enough that where he'd come out of the trailer. Otherwise, he's just going to stand there and fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally have seen him on a stock trailer, and Joey's trailer it was a 24-footer, had 2 divider gates. He would be in the front compartment and start pushing on that gate with his head and just make a taco out of that thing to the point where you had to take and tie the rope, tie both ends of it, the hinge end, because he was fixing to tear it off the hinge end, and he would tear it where it buckles against the outside.
Yeah.
You had to tie that too.
Dude.
It was unbelievable how hard he can push.
He would just camp out on that door.
Just start pushing on it. It wasn't like he didn't have any room to run and hit it. He'd just start pushing on it with his head and it'd just make a taco out of it.
Wow.
Put a rope on it, tie it. Still had a gap between the wall and the...
You must be using a pretty serious rope to tie it up, though.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have a big 1/2-inch rope. Put it on there.
Dude, he was telling me that they would go around the truck and the trailer just hooking at that thing. Pissed.
Yeah. They're mad.
And you guys would be on top of the trailer.
Yes. We were on top of the trailer.
What?
Run out there and get some cabbage fans real quick, jump up on the side of the trailer, light them on fire, and shove them in the trailer on him.
Uh-huh.
And that did the trick on it. That scared him right out of there. Yeah, it was never a dull moment messing with these things.
No, he said it was adrenaline packed.
Yeah.
It was exciting every time you dealt with one.
Yeah, I mean, I seen literally rope at one and miss him, and then, he starts getting tired of either rope and he start running around in a circle, trying to get him roped in however 50, 30, 80-yard circle there, trying to get him roped directly. He'll start cutting that circle off on you. He'll start cutting the circle off on you, trying to get over and catch you. So you're basically running away from him and just trying to fish it back on his head.
Dude.
And it's a terrible roping ability, but we got him.
No, I would feel like I would be the same way. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I thought you told me one time too that like if a dog were to trail one up, they don't smell them the same as they would a cow. It's a completely different scent.
We had several dogs that wouldn't mess with them. I had a dog named Cricket, Brindle Jip, that come from Carlos Riva. She wouldn't have anything to do with one of them. And she was like, that's not a cow. I'm not messing with that. But it was a great cow dog, probably the best dog I ever had. And she wouldn't have anything to do with water buffalo. First time she ever fooled with one, she got up there yow-yowing at him, and he took the end of that horn. He knows right where the end of his horn is and popped her right underneath there and spun her over there in the ditch. She was like, I'm not fooling with that thing anymore. She never fooled with him again.
After that.
And we shouldn't have. We had our 2 best dogs. Her brother was Joey's dog. What was his name? Rastus or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was. So you told me.
That was our 2 best dogs. Why we're fooling with these water buffalo with these 2 best dogs? Why don't we get some hounds or some bulldogs or something?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh.
Would he fool with one?
Who?
The brother? Rassus or whatever?
Yeah.
He would.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now would they bite a cow, both of those dogs?
Oh yeah. No, Cricket wasn't much on biting.
She wasn't?
Like if she went to the front of a bunch of cows, she'd hit that front cow on the nose right there a little bit, but she wasn't real big on that. But Rastus would bite something.
He would?
Yeah.
What were the dogs that they were out of? That those 2 dogs were out of? I think you told me one time.
Joey had a Jip named Wilma, and Carlos had the dog was a black and tan dog named Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Was Tommy the dog that had the brindle where the black and tan would go?
Yes, it was.
On his muzzle?
Yep, that was him.
That was him.
And Cricket was brindle. She was solid brindle, though. She wasn't black and tan. Rastus was black and tan. Interestingly enough. But they would go from the first time we took them. They'd hold up a couple hundred heads when they were 6 months old, 7 months old.
Right by themselves.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah.
The first few times?
Both of them died the same day.
Jeez, dude.
That's on down the line a little ways. Once Joey moved out of the Cypress and got over to the Glades County hunting area, there was wild bulls over there. So we got on one day, and it was no water. It was dry. Rastus and Cricket got on this bull, and We couldn't get him roped to save our soul. He was in planted pines. So every time you swing your rope, it was hitting a pine tree. So you just kind of, these things were bad. They would hook you. And this was a 6-7-year-old bull, bad horns. So when you run by him at top speed and throw that loop, you throw it on the fly.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole time them dogs were yow-yowing and keeping him bait up right there in those planted pines. And before you know it, they're falling over, weak, limber-legged. And Joey decided, let's get these dogs and get out of here. So we got him away from him. I picked Cricket up, put her in the saddle with me. And how we got split up, I don't know. But Liz was there. She was kind of off in the distance a little ways. I went to the nearest flag pond I could get, and I went right to the middle of it, and I dug them flags out of the way. I think maybe there was some water in the bottom of this thing. I'll put this dog in there. There wasn't any water in the bottom of that thing. So I look around, and there was big ukes over there, around those camps, the real tall ones that they didn't cut. And I threw her back in the saddle, loped to that camp. Well, Joey was already there, and there was a pitcher pump there, and he was pumping water on his dog. And put Cricket down there and pumped water on her. And I think Joey ended up carrying Rastus back to the trailer. And Cricket followed us to the trailer. I think she's going to be okay. She was dead the next morning. Joey took him to the veterinarian office there in LaBelle, and I think they put some kind of saline in their body. I don't know how they do it, but Rastus died that night, and Cricket died. She was dead in the barn the next morning.
Dude.
Yeah.
I bet you guys were devastated.
Yeah, we were out of the dog business then, pretty much.
For real.
I mean, we had dogs, but they were sorry.
Yeah, they weren't like those two.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
I mean, what made them so good? You told me one time the good ones just know.
They did. Cricket had no flaws outside of she would just follow anybody. She was not religious to me, but me and Joey both took her. If I couldn't go, Joey would take Cricket, and maybe that had something to do with it. But she didn't have any flaws. She didn't have a lot of bite. Maybe that's a flaw. Mm-hmm. Maybe it saved her some getting beat up. Because she'd go to the front. She'd circle. Always did. Always. The time she died. She didn't have any. She wouldn't bark going to the front. She didn't have any flaws. Like if you're on a buggy trail in the cypress, and the sides are just solid palmettos or cypress trees or whatever. It might when you send your dog to get to the front of them cows, it makes it tough to get for a dog to get up and get to the front. Most of them will run right to the back of them cows and start yow-yowing. That's probably not a good thing to do around Joey Obannon.
Yeah.
Anyway, these two would make a way out and around and go all the way to the front. So
every time.
Yeah.
They
wouldn't
knew.
none of this back of the bunch barking. No, they wouldn't do that.
They would go around and to the front.
Yeah.
Which is how those dogs, like when Carlos would explain it to me, when they would gather stuff in like pine flatwoods, palmettos, whatever it was, that dog's job is he's supposed to go on his nose, go around and not stop at the first bunch of cows he comes to. He's supposed to go on a little ways and check and then stop whatever's there.
And them good ones would do that. They would wrap that bunch up right there and then start a bigger circle and make sure ain't nothing left from there. And if something left from there, he was gone. Not all of them would do that. No. Carlos had one that would. His Billy dog, black and tan dog. He was. I don't know as far as trailing a cow. He was more stealth than Bassinger was, the one Joey had to trail with.
I can't wait to hear
cypress.
about him. I can't wait to hear about him.
This is another 30, 40 minute Bassinger. Is it?
No, we're going to hear it.
Tell stories about this character. And I think Joey got Bassinger from Spookwidden, I think. I'm not sure about that, and I don't know what Bassinger was. He's cur dog and hound or something.
I want to say it was something like that because when he told me, this is another thing I forgot to ask him, was about Bassinger.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was. So what was Bassinger like?
Well, he was a character. He was a pet, and he wanted to lay up in your lap and do all this other stuff and wanted to be petted. But when you got to the cypress with Bassinger, he was going cow hunting. Do not let him out of. You need to have. He was a little bit of a Houdini, so you need to have a dog box in a horse trailer, or have him in a dog box in the back of your truck. If not, he was going to come out of there like a snook through a gill net. So whenever the time comes, the next morning you'd arrive at night, and then the next morning when you got ready to unload, Joey would get on his horse, get his little 22 pistol with his rat shot in it, and say, if somebody turned Bassinger loose. And then when he come out of that trailer, he would start shooting, and I'm thinking to myself the first time I saw it, I said, this man's lost his mind. Well, Bassinger had no intentions of stopping. I didn't know this. I didn't know who Bassinger was. I heard stuff about him, but he come off of that trailer like Seabiscuit, and he was leaving. If you want to find some cows, follow me. And it wasn't long. He'd be a mile over there. Yo, yo, and he barked like a hound, and he barked on trail, which is not what you want him to do.
No.
The dog, now, Billy Dog of Carlos's wouldn't do that.
Silent.
He'd just be over there, just you'd hear him barking. If he's barking, he's got him.
Yeah.
But Bassinger would bark on trail like he was running a deer. But he would go somewhere.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So there was no like, he's following your horse and then you're going to
He's not following that horse. You can forget that. I mean, that's totally out of the question. He was a character. And even when you're driving cows and Bassinger is with you, he's always in the way. You'd get right in this crucial point in a cypress or in some deep water over there, and Bassinger pops out in front of him. Boom! You know, try to get a cow fighting him, just causing trouble, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I seen Bassinger, went to Northfield.
This is in Big Cypress.
In the big cypress, went to that Northfield, and Joey had just recently bought some Brammer bulls, and them Brammer bulls was in that bunch, and I can't remember how many cows were there, but it was mostly them Brammer bulls that he had turned loose. And Bassinger found them in that Northfield, and we got there and we sat back and watched for a minute, and Bassinger done made him a couple loops while we rode out there to him, and Becky, you hear Bassinger off in the distance going east, I think, east. Boo, boo. Something left. And Bassinger knows it.
Oh.
So we started them cows that way, and I don't know, a mile or two over there, Bassinger holds up another wad of cows and a bull. A bull had left from that bunch, and he trailed that bull, and he went and got with another bunch of cows. And it was the darndest thing you've ever seen. And literally, Bassinger, when it got dark, he's just getting warmed up. Joey just leave him, go back to the camp. He'd be over there on the neighbor's place, have their cows bunched up. I mean, literally, the 10,000-acre place was. If he smelled cows, he just go.
Yeah.
You know, but he'd have them. And the thing about that is a lot of dogs might do that, but is he gonna stay there till I get there? Bassinger would stay there till you got there.
And then
I'm assuming the darkness had something to do with it, because Joey would leave him. Like if we were up in the northeast corner of that place, and he got over on the Indian reservation, and we're like, well, he's over there, got some cows held up. Joey just turned and go back to the house, or drive what we had. We'll drive it all the way back to the crevice, put it in the crevice, and next morning, Bassinger would be on the front porch. Let's go. Tail going like a big windshield wiper like this. He's ready to go.
He would trail you guys up after
Absolutely.
After he got done with whatever.
Oh, yeah. That was nothing for him to trail 6 horses going back to the camp. That's nothing for him.
And he looked like a hound mostly.
He was like a leopard cur, but he was big. He was a big dog. Big old whip tail on him, just doing this all the time. For any, a place around here would be a real annoyance to have Bassinger. These places won't hold him.
No.
He gone.
He gone. Dude, 10,000 acres can't hold him.
Perfect for him. And when Joey did get the hunting area over there, Bassinger was gone by then. We didn't have him, so the other dogs had to. And we had a couple that would do, but nothing like Bassinger.
He was just insane.
It was the stamina.
It's unreal.
It was unbelievable. In Bassinger's last week of his life, Bassinger was following our horses. He was back there. I said, I think he's done.
Yeah.
And it wasn't much longer. He passed away, but who knows how old this dog was?
Oh,
he looked old from the first time I saw him,
So he had him before you knew Joey. He had Bassinger.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I seen him around the kennels and all. I didn't pay a whole lot of mind until we didn't take it. Never took him nowhere local, to his place in Hope Sound. We never took him there.
No,
when we loaded up and went to the Cypress, I promise you that leopard dog's going.
Yeah, you never took him to Hope Sound just because it wasn't as big of a place.
In his last week of his life, we took him, and
oh, you did?
Yeah, and
just to let him go.
He just couldn't keep up.
Man, just got old.
Yeah,
I guess it happens.
Yeah,
that's unreal. Now he would circle too, though. He would circle really well.
Oh yeah, Yeah, he's just what Bassinger's doing is trying to get one of them cows to fight him. That's all he's trying to do. He just, trying to, he'd get up, whatever. He was a nuisance.
Yeah.
His job was to find cows, and he was good at that. Other than that, you want him to just disappear. You want him to go away,
Because he's going to be right in the way.
Yeah.
Every single time. Now, Cricket was good with her nose too?
Not too much.
No?
She wasn't much on trail. Now, that Rastus dog, her brother, he was pretty good.
He was good about it.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd go find cows.
Now, she didn't have to necessarily see cows to go to the front.
No.
She would
if
go
it was
when
fairly
you sent her.
fresh right there, she's going.
Yeah, yeah.
But she wasn't going cold trailing like Bassinger. Joey tells me a story one time. He hauled some cows down to the Cypress, and I'm assuming he put them in the south field. There was a south field which was completely overgrown with pepper trees and myrtles. So it's not like we're hauling them to a field right here at Brady Ranch. It was rough. And I'm assuming that maybe the back gate wasn't open, or he thought it was shut, and maybe someone opened it. He had hauled some cows there prior to that, and he was coming with another load. Turns them off the trailer. He was going to let them go down there and bunch up, and then drive them out there into the big pasture, or something along those lines. Anyway, the back gate's open on the first bunch. He gets there with the bunch that he let off the trailer. He gets to the back gate of the crevice, which is just like two pieces of wire holding it together. Bassinger pulls out trailing them cows. And I don't know how far it is from the south field all the way around there to the glades, but he overhauls them on the glades and on the fence line. It's miles over there. It's not like just a little ways. It's a long way over there. He overhauls them.
Dude.
And that was round trip, a minimum of 2.5 hours to go get another load of cows and come back. So they've been gone that long.
Dude.
Which if they went there, if he come back the next morning, Bassinger still was going to trail them, and that's how good he was.
That's unreal. I mean, how did this, like you said, the stamina, I don't understand. How is that?
I mean, it had to be some kind of hound or something.
For sure. Just to go and go.
He barked like a hound. That's what he sounded like when he barked.
Yeah. But the negative side of him was he'd bark on trail.
He barked on trail.
He's kind of boosh on the cows.
I mean, if you sent your dogs, because you get in a place like that, and he's hanging around, and you send your dogs, if you have to send your dogs, most of the time he wouldn't, because somebody would be in front of the cows, somebody would be behind them. I mean, we had people siding. But if you did, he's barking going all the way to the front. He'd bark at a cow, beller at him going along the side right there. Yeah. He's worthless when he had it. For what he was good for, he was good at it.
Yeah, he was good at trailing them.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. How long did you guys have Cricket and her brother, Rastus? How old was she when she died?
I can't remember.
Was she an older dog or no?
No, they were in their prime. I mean, they were 3-4 years old, maybe.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They were in their prime.
Yeah. I mean, they could have been older than that, but I don't think so. They were good. Both of them looked good. They were in good shape.
Yeah. She had like kind of a jug head? No.
She had a sharp
head.
And Rastus looked more like your dog.
Really?
More of a square head on him.
Yeah, like Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more like Dutch. No, that's crazy, man. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing looking back on it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a shame they died so young, but
right.
You at least got to have.
Yeah, she was.
Got to have her.
She was something. I mean, dogs I have known. I mean, it could be another podcast for dogs I have known, or Joey for sure. He's seen hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah, your guys' I've never actually been inside of. Well, I guess now it's Fox Brown. I've never been inside there, but I heard the kennel in there is just like lengthy. Was it lengthy when you guys?
I think there's 48 or 50 runs in there.
Gosh. And you guys had a little bit of everything.
Oh, bird dogs, gal dogs, hog dogs, mostly bird dogs though.
Oh, the majority of it was bird dogs.
Yeah.
Now those are bird dogs like from that book, A Quail Hunter's Odyssey, Doc's dogs. A lot of them were Doc's dogs or no?
Yeah.
And you got to hunt with him quite a bit or no?
With Dr. Greenfield?
Yeah.
I did hunt if Joey had something to do, I took Doc. Nobody else was taking Doc but me.
Dude.
Other than Joey.
Now a lot of those dogs belong to him?
Yeah.
So what out of all of those bird dogs, what were they like? What was maybe the most memorable of the bird dogs?
Well, group? I mean, I can remember the ones I first started with.
Yeah.
That Joey gave me as a greenhorn.
Mm-hmm.
One was a black and white male dog named Hank, and the other one was a liver and white female named Bonnie, and Hank and Bonnie, and that was. And there were some others, but they don't stand out as good as Hank. Hank was Hank was one of those. If he'll trash on you a little bit, Hank would. He'd point a baby calf in the grass. You know, he'd go on point and be like, birds over there. Get over there and be a baby calf laying there. Or Joe, I never had to experience Hank catching a hog, but Joey said he'd catch a hog like a bulldog.
No way, dude.
But he never did with me. I seen Hank go on point in a ditch one time, and there was like a crossing in these pastures. They had a little culvert in there, probably a 12-inch culvert. There was a bird in that culvert.
Really?
Well, Hank went through that 12-inch culvert, and bird come shooting out the other end, and we killed it.
No way.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's crazy. He was a good handling dog, or no? He was hard headed.
They were pretty good. I mean, you had your shot collars on them, but
yeah,
you know, they were dogs for me to deal with. Not, I didn't know any. They know more than I do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something funny. Joey was. I went out and put out birds that morning. Like the first morning, I was on my maiden voyage for bird hunting, and we get back there and we're drinking coffee or whatever. Joey goes, "You remember where you put them birds?" And I didn't know this place. I've been there a little bit. My brother used to live there. I've been there quite a bit. And I'm like, I just go, like a smart ass. I said, well, that's why we're bringing the dogs, ain't it? They'll find them, right? Duh.
Yeah.
He just laughed. He said, I guess so.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was nervous. It was a maiden voyage,
For sure.
Bird hunting, but.
Do you remember the people you took?
No.
You don't? Do you remember if it was good or bad?
No.
Really?
I'm sure it was fine.
I'm sure it was fine, though.
Yeah, it was fine.
How old do you think you were then? 25-ish?
I'd been 24.
24.
Right after I went to work for him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe I was. Yeah, about 25. Maybe the first time I took a group. I was nervous as heck.
You were?
Oh, my gosh.
Did you go with Eddie, though, and see how it was done or any of that stuff?
Not
Or he just
really.
threw you to the wolves?
I kind of just had to go and learn. Trial by fire. Oh, it was a terrible
No,
hunt.
I went with Joey a lot.
Okay, you saw it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you saw it before.
No, he wasn't going to turn me out there and not knowing anything.
I got turned out. Yeah, so you got to see the handling of the dogs and all that good deal.
Sure.
Yeah, you saw it a little bit.
Yeah.
They weren't really hard to control, like you said, though, just because you had kind of been given some dogs that knew
No, they were
the
automatic.
drill. Yeah, they knew the drill.
They're robo dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that, they wanted them to be steady wing and shot. None of that made any sense to me,
For sure.
By Hank going in that culvert, flushing that bird out, that's not what he's supposed to do.
No.
He's supposed to hold point and let me do that.
Yeah.
But he was past all that.
For sure.
Hank, but he was pretty solid.
So those were some of the most memorable. You didn't have another one that was just...
I had a flush dog that I remembered, in my last, before I left from there.
Yeah.
I had a Springer Spaniel named Buster. I mean, they should write a song about this dog. Joey, he liked the little cockers. Nothing wrong with that, but until you get in deep water. And then they're going to be swimming where Buster can just walk. For instance, we have those tower shoots to start the season. Joey's on a swamp bug because one side of the tower was a flag pond, and the water was deep. It was right at the end of it's October 1, start of the season. Mm-hmm. Bird goes down in the water, about middle ways between me and Joey. I send Buster. He sends his cocker. Buster brings about the pheasant and the cocker with him when he comes back. Just dragging the cocker right along. So if you use a half a dog, that's what you're going to get, a half a retrieve.
Yeah.
No, but the cockers were good. Funny. They were good for flushing. They could get in those spots where Buster couldn't get. Buster, I seen Buster make a retrieve one time on the back side of the palm. It was a very back part of that place, right against the game fence. A couple of birds gets up, bam, 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 bam. They kill a few birds. And he's got to cross the canal to get a dead bird that fell just through the fence on the other side. And this is going to be interesting to see if he goes to the other side. He sees the bird down, but he can't see it. He thinks it's on this side of the fence.
Yeah.
He smells it and there's feathers there, but I don't know where this bird is. So I make him sit on the other side and mark it with a shotgun shell. I throw a mark to the bird and I almost hit right at the bird. And he goes to looking through that fence. He sees it. He sticks his paw through the fence, rakes the bird over to the fence where he can get his mouth on it, pulls it out of there, and comes back across the canal with it.
That's unreal.
That was pretty sweet.
Dude, that's
the
so
people
sweet.
that were with me were like, whoa.
Dude, like this dog is a robo dog.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He was tough as iron. He'd go twice a day, every day.
And be perfectly fine.
Tough as iron.
I guess he's just
good-natured
conditioned.
dog.
He was?
Yeah, he wouldn't try to push it. He wouldn't try to, got him at heel. He wouldn't try to push that. He'd wait till he got there. Now, early in the season, now he's all fired up, wanting to go. You got to,
reel him in
stand
a
on
little
him
bit.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to reel him in a little bit. He just listened well. He wasn't
No,
mean.
he was very good. I mean, I didn't train him.
Yeah.
I just used him, but he was well trained.
Sounds like a good one. I got a Springer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lefty. Friendly, easy to use. I've never seen him fish anything through a fence though.
It was unbelievable.
I got to set that up.
I'm like, there's no way he's getting this bird. We're gonna have to leave that one.
Yeah.
He got it though.
Fished it through the fence.
Yeah, stuck his little arm through there and flicked it over there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was the environment though is all very short palmettos?
We made it that way. It didn't used to always be that way. Joey did he had a big. We originally chopped it with a bulldozer and a set of M choppers.
Yeah.
Beat it down.
With M10s or
And
whatever they are?
yeah, M10s, and then it would come back, and then we just kind of after the bulldozer, you can maintain it with a tractor, with a smaller set of choppers, but you had to keep it beat down so people could see over it
Yeah.
for the bird hunt.
No, for sure. It has to be low.
Yeah,
It has to be low. Now
you don't want to kill it; you just want to beat it down.
Beat it down. What was the rest of that place like?
Swamp.
It was?
Yeah, the southwest corner was a
Like marsh?
500-acre marsh certain time of the year. I've seen it where you could drive a diesel pickup truck across there
Wow. That
in
dry.
the spring.
Yeah. But it was like a myrtle bed, essentially?
There were some myrtles out in there. He cleaned that up too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's just big open grass ponds and flag ponds in the deeper areas.
Mm-hmm.
Had some deep holes in a very far, what we call the buzzard roost, right on the south end.
The buzzard roost.
Yeah, there was a big canal back there. It was pretty bad.
Wow. Yeah, I've never been up in there before, but I guess like makes sense with all the water buffalo thriving
They
in
liked
the
it.
swamp at the buzzard roost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they really liked it. Dang, what was I going to say about that? Oh, the hog hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You did a fair amount of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was throughout the entire place as well?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now your hog dogs wouldn't mess with a water buffalo.
Mm-mm.
Only hog.
I think of one time maybe we were hog hunting out there at night just for fun. We wanted to do it with clients just for fun.
Yeah.
I think somebody's dog that wasn't used to being there and smelling the buffalo or seeing the buffalo bayed one up, and that got a little sketchy.
For real.
Now went in a myrtle bed, and there's a buffalo in there. Y'all might want to get out of there. I don't even think I went over there, but they went after it. I mean, at this point, I'm doing this for a living now. I don't want to do it at night. We're just out there. They wanted me to go, so I'll drive the buggy.
Yeah, you had no desire to go, dude.
Yeah.
You do it for a living. You have to deal with it every day.
Yeah.
So, but what was it like though? Was that one of the main deals that you guys did besides the bird hunting? Was a lot of hog hunting?
There's a lot of hog hunting. We killed a lot of hogs.
In what way? Always with a dog?
Yes, always with a dog, just about. And Joey he had some good dogs. Coming across this little Joker dog that I had, and it was just kind of an accidental hog dog type thing. It was my daughter's dog, and he would never stay at home. He was always gone, and we lived very remote. He'd be at somebody remote's house a long ways away, and he'd come back whenever he felt like coming back. He was just out tomcatting, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, she decided she didn't want Joker anymore. She said, Daddy, just take him and see if he'll run a hog. So I did, and he was. Maybe this is what Joker was off doing when we thought he was off tomcatting.
Yeah.
He might have been running hogs or doing something like that. But I got to tell you, he was automatic.
Automatic.
Yeah, he was automatic. He was like, "Oh, you want these stupid things? Because these are easy. I find these things all the time."
Uh-huh.
It was a real adventure. And hog ended up killing him later on.
Yeah. But he was just really good with his nose, and he was ranked to bite one too.
He was good. It's like, I'll tell you a story about Joker. A guy. I'm sitting on Joey's front porch, and it's later in the day, and a man pulls up in a car and gets out and goes, "Do y'all do hog hunts?" I said, "Yes, we do." And he goes, "Can you do one right now?" I said, "Yes, I can." So I go get the swamp buggy. He gets his rifle. We get on the swamp buggy, go to the dog kennel, and I get Joker. And Joker is a Parson Russell Beagle cross or something. He ain't this big.
He's a little guy.
And the guy's like, "This is your hog dog?" I'm like, "Yeah." Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Because I already know what he's going to do. Anyway, when we get to the game fence gate, the wind is blowing right on our face. And off to the left, there's out there a couple hundred yards, there's a big flag pond. I pull up to the front to the gate, and I'm going to get off the back of the buggy, and Joker's just I got him on a snap on the front of the buggy. Joker's just doing flips on this chain. He's like, something is right over there. I'm like, there's no way. His dog smells the hog right there. Anyway, I open the gate, drive through it, close it back, get back on the buggy. He's like, looking back at me. He's like, you going to let me off this buggy? I'm like, you think there's a hog over there? I unclipped him, and he went directly into that flag pond. And I just sit there and watch. Directly, he start jumping in the air, barking. And there was a boar hog stood up in that flag pond. Like I say, Joker was tiny.
Yeah.
And he stood up in there, and Joker tried to catch him. And this was the thing. That was the Joker's thing. He thought he weighed 90 pounds, but he didn't weigh 15 pounds.
Uh-huh.
That boar hog flipped him like that, and away he went. He took off running. Well, Joker gets up and runs him down, gets right to a ditch, stops him again, and tries to catch him again. He catches him by the ear this time, and just gets dish-ragged. Now the blood's squirting. And as soon as he kicks him off that time, the guy shoots the hog and kills it. Literally, we're there 5 minutes. I'm like, how many of these things you want to kill? He goes, I just want to kill one. I said, we're out of here. Joker took it in shorts, but we're gone.
Yeah,
we're finished. Hunt's over.
He did. He got dish-ragged.
Yeah.
That wasn't the time that I killed him, though, was it?
No. He got. I don't know how many times we laid this little dog on the bench and sewed him up. He thought, like I say, he thought he was a 90-pound bulldog, but he wasn't going to let you drive by one either. He could smell pretty good.
Dude, that's crazy that you guys stumbled on that.
Yeah.
Well, he could smell just as good or better than any of the cur dogs.
I don't know how many hogs we killed with this little dog, but we killed a lot with this little dog. I had several good ones that was there, but maybe because he was so little, it was comical that he was so good at it.
For sure.
But you could get a boar hog in a palmetto patch, and this thing would just chastise this boar hog to pieces. He wasn't like a cur dog, just stand over there in one spot. He couldn't be still. He'd be over there biting him on the back leg, and then he'd be back around here. Time he spun around, biting him on the back leg over here.
He was perfect for it.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. But if he wasn't so ranked, that would have been a little handier.
Yeah, he was too rank, really.
He was too rank,
and that's
especially if there were other dogs there.
Really,
I had another one that Troy Woodham had gave me, and I named him Troy, and he was pretty automatic too. But hog hunting for a dog in the business of hog hunting is dangerous business, as Joey would say. Their lifespan's not the longest in the world. No, but they love doing it. They love it.
You can't make them do it. There's an old saying, you can't push a rope.
No.
They got to want to do it on their own. You're just controlling it. You're just controlling it on them. How did you meet Troy?
Troy Woodham.
Yeah.
How I met Troy was I lived in one of the times when I wasn't working for Joey, I lived with my brother in Clementsville. And I had my hog dog down there. And I had him chained to the barn at my brother's house.
Was it Jake?
Yeah.
Jake?
Yeah, and Jake somehow or another got loose from the post that I had him chained to. Obviously, didn't have him chained very well. Well, he dragged 20 foot of log chain down there to Troy's house and bred one of Troy's jips. Well, I think I had a collar on him, and he calls me or something, or stops me on the road because he didn't live too far down the road. Hey, is this your dog over here? And I'm like, yeah, it sure is. I've been looking for him. And he said, well, I think he bred one of my jips. And the rest is history. The Jip had puppies. The puppies were good. He had a dog out of that litter named Jake also, and we've been friends ever since.
And it kind of just worked out.
Yeah.
All thanks to Jake.
Yeah. Thank you, Jake.
All thanks to Jake. Was Jake a pretty good dog?
Yes, Jake was good.
He was. He was a hog dog.
He was a hog dog. He was a little bit ranked too, probably ranker than he should have been. I had a funny story when I think I was here. Working over here for Frank at one point, and Joey called me. I guess he was out of hog dogs. He says, you still got that Jake dog? I said, yeah. He said, can I borrow him? I got to do a hog hunt tomorrow afternoon. I said, absolutely. And anyway, he takes Jake, and I'm thinking, Jake's pretty fresh, and that means he is going to be ranked. And Joey takes him, sure enough. He gets in there. Jake gets the hog bait up in a palmetto patch where Joey gets in there with his client and gets where Jake can hear him talking to the client, getting him in position to shoot the hog. Well, Jake hears that. Well, Jake thinks it's time to put hands on this thing. Yeah. And Jake catches this hog. And now Joey's in there wrestling with this poor hog. He was like, "You didn't tell me this sucker was rank." I said, "Well, he's a little fresh. When he's not so fresh, he don't." Joey didn't. He just wanted the hog, bait the hog up, shoot the hog, drag the hog out.
Yeah.
And now Jake ain't got no problem finding a hog, but he's gonna put his mouth in there on him when you get close in there to shoot him. I didn't tell Joey that part.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He left that handy piece of information out. Speaking of dogs, you knew I want to stay on the dog topic because I want you to tell me the story about the time you guys were at Carlos's place, Chastain, and something about
Anybody knows Carlos Rivas got biting dogs. The Carlos Rivas dogs will bite you. But they good. I mean, he ain't gonna have a sorry dog, but they gonna bite you. Anyway, we go to Carlos's house. Carlos is not there, but he's always got dogs running around his house, and they all bite you. Me and Joey are in the truck. We go in by Carlos's house. We're picking up a molasses tank or dropping a molasses tank off or something. I don't remember what we're doing. And then we got to go through this gate, go around back, and come back out. Well, when we pulled up there to the gate, all 4 dogs just come running out there. Just yeah. I'm like, daggone, things out there bite you. Go in the gate. When we come back out, I close the gate, and they come back out there. Just yeah. Wouldn't come all the way to the truck. I just, going to be a tough guy. I just walked out there right the front fender of that truck, and I stomped my foot at him. And when I did, here they come. Well, Joey reaches over and locks the door on my side of the truck, and now I'm on top of when they were just bluffing before, now they're not bluffing. They come all the way, and they're coming. They have treed me on top of that truck, and I thought, Joey, we had to drive away from there with me on top of the truck to get away from these dogs. I couldn't get back in the truck. I had to drive plumb out to the 76.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They weren't playing around.
No, they're not
Scratch
playing
the
around.
heck out of the paint
That
job.
Billy dog I was telling you about a minute ago, he was one of them.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Is this when you guys dropped the bull off in his barn? And you
No,
locked-
this was it was a different story that Carlos wanted to borrow one of Joey's Brahma bulls, so we brought him the meanest one he had. And Joey thought that, and the way Carlos's horse paddock was, we couldn't get that trailer backed into one of them horse stalls, but we was going to put that bull in one of them horse stalls. When he slid the door open on that thing, 545 was going to have him. But we didn't. We put him in the cow pens, and we came out of there, and I think Carlos had to set his dogs on that bull to get him out of the cow pen.
Billy.
Yeah,
He had to set Billy on him.
This bull was mean. That was a dirty trick, Joey sending that bull over there. This bull was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I think this was the bull, too, that he would come at you in the pasture.
I don't know if he'd come at you in the pasture, but I think 545 ended up he getting off the place down in the Cypress. We finally took him down there, and we never saw him again. I figured somebody had killed him because he was so mean. Maybe he jumped the fence, got on somebody else's place, or we don't know what happened to him, but we never got him back.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he told me about Billy, though, doing that where he set Billy on him. And
Billy jumped on his hump and had him caught by the hump.
Yeah, he threw him up on his back and he had him caught by the hump.
Yeah.
The whole way out.
That's funny.
No, I know. It's a hilarious story. Once I get Carlos on here, I'm going to have him tell it.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, he'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll get him on there. Let's see. Trying to think about the next stage. Oh, yeah. Tell me about, did you guys do a lot of axis deer hunting there? Is that kind of where you learned about axis deer and stuff? Yeah, at J&R.
Yeah, well, I learned about axis deer here because they've always been here since the late 70s. I think Frank had axis deer. And me and Robbie Brady grew up together. We went to high school together. And we'd come out here and do our partying or whatever we did when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
And I seen the axis deer, and, I didn't think a whole lot about them. I know there's a lot of them, and they were beautiful. But it worked out me getting to take this hunting business back over. Because that's almost 15 years ago now.
I know. This place had the biggest herd of axis deer.
Largest herd of axis deer. So they say in the United States, that mid-90s, somewhere in there.
Dude.
It was insane.
Everywhere.
They were everywhere, including they were in the yard. I mean, this yard hadn't always been compounded off with a high fence, so they can't get in the yard. Back in the day, when I lived back here, they would, you'd come home from wherever in the middle of the night, and there would be 500 deer in the yard.
That many?
Everywhere. I mean, you literally have to shut the lights off and bang the side of your truck like you was driving through a bunch of cows to run them off so you can get them out of the road.
What?
Yeah.
It was that thick, full of deer.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The herd was insane. I mean, I don't know if it was healthy, that many deer being on.
Yeah.
They're talking some large numbers of 30 3,000 deer on 2,000 acres.
That's wild.
That's a lot. It was probably not very healthy.
Yeah, what's hunting them like though? What is their behavior is like extremely skittish. They don't bleed a whole lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, on a shot axis deer, if you're not shot right, he doesn't bleed very much. They're tough. I mean, they're super tough.
Very good nose.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't tell you that their nose is better than a whitetail, but he knows what you are when he smells human scent. Where a whitetail's just kind of, they'll blow and stomp their feet and look or whatever, and he don't do that. He knows what it is. He leaves. They don't hang out. And there's so many of them. They're herd animal. Where whitetail are solitary. That many noses, that many eyes, that many ears. It's just difficult. So
Yeah.
you definitely have to have the wind in your face.
No, for sure. For sure. Tell me about, though, before we go into any kind of hunting here at Brady Ranch, I want to know about your day working days, because you were able to day work while you were working for Joey.
Yes, when Joey was professional hunting in Africa, in the summertime, I day worked here, and I got to meet some interesting characters. I mean, I got to ride with a bunch of guys that some of them don't even ride anymore. Some of them are not alive anymore. A lot of I don't want to call them old timers, but they're old timers.
Old timers, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So what was it like day working then?
Well, yeah, I mean, as you well know, you didn't make a whole lot of money. You got to get up early. You got to stay late. Horses, dogs, the whole thing. It's fun to do, and it's a lot of memories.
Really good
working
memories.
around those people. I mean, such as Boosty Boney and Roland Durance. I got to ride with Pete Clemens a couple times.
Did you really?
T.L. Godwin. It was an experience, and a lot of people can't say that.
No.
They got to ride with them.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, being with Boosty Boney, he was a dog man too, and me and his son become very good friends. Actually, he was the best man at my wedding, Clint Boney, and we traded dogs and raised dogs together for a while.
Yeah, didn't he give you a dog?
Boosty?
Yeah, like it was a yellow.
Boosty gave me a
male.
dog that was completely out of control. Her name was Nipper, I think was her name, which is an odd name. But we were at Donald Jones's place down on the lake. They call it Scarborough Cattle Company. And this Nipper dog was just doing everything I want one to do. But he ain't got no way of handling her. He can't get control. Boosie's at the age now. He don't want to get Boosie could handle this dog if he wanted to. He just soon Nipper be gone.
Yeah.
She was just doing her own thing. So I ride over to him. I said, "Hey, Boosty, I'll take that dog." He said, "Go to Lakeport at lunchtime and get you a chain and put it on that dog chainer in your trailer." That's how mad he is with his dog. I'm like, I am going to get me a chain.
Yeah.
And
Because she was doing it.
so I did. And we didn't keep her very long either. And she just kind of went amiss one time. She was a little crazy, Nipper was, but she was handy, real handy.
Is that the one that climbed out of the trailer at Hope Sound?
Yeah. We're going in there. And Joey's like fresh back from Africa. We're going over to handle them cows or do something. And he looks in the rearview mirror and Nipper's coming out. She could see them cows out there in the pasture. They're trotting, because they hear the trailer banging. Nipper's coming out of that trailer sideways. And she goes and bunches them cows up. He says, "Is this new dog you got from Boosty?" I said, "Yeah, watch this." I mean, she's just wrapping them up.
Yeah, he was making fun of you, right? He's like, there ain't no way a guy
Nobody's
gave away.
giving you a dog, Kevin, that's any good.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't find any flaws in Nipper outside of she was crazy. She didn't want to put your hands on her. Open the tailgates, get away from there, let her get in. And I think at some point somebody was there with some kids the day we lost her.
Ah.
And she got all spooked and ran off, and then we left and went back for the next day, and she was gone, or maybe got hit on the road out there on 708 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you lost her in Hope Sound.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yellow bobtailed Jip. She was handy.
Yeah, I bet. What was it like helping Roland Durance?
Oh, boy.
You helped with him a lot? You helped him a lot?
I did. I helped him one summer, all summer. It is Roland's an adventure. It was a lot of fun, never a dull moment. They didn't handle cows like Joey handled cows in the woods. It was a business, obviously, and we're going to get them. We're going to get them, and they used Joey explained it like this: they use a rope like we use a dog, and these people can rope. So if it peeled out of the bunch, go get her and bring her back on the end of that rope. And that's the way they did it.
Yeah.
And
everybody's got a way, I guess.
sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But Joey's way was always with a dog and always really slow.
Yeah.
And sitting on him.
Slow. A lot of times, a lot of people, and you see them do it nowadays outside of little Bobby Lyons. You know, there's other people besides him, but Bobby does it right too. He used to go to the cypress when he was a kid, so he's seen how it was supposed to be done. He's got cattle in the woods. When you find cows, don't just pull out driving them because everybody wants to go. Let's go. Let's drive these things. Joey might sit there an hour, 30 minutes. He might sit there on them cows for a little while.
Initially.
Yep. He ain't going to pull out driving them things right away.
Yeah.
And that has something to do with them settling down before you drive them.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. So like whenever I would help him, the very first time I went, I was just like, I've never seen somebody sit on him this long when we turn him out.
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily whenever we found him
Right.
and bunched him
He
up.
wanted to mammy up.
Yeah, mammy up. But you're saying whenever you guys would go.
You go, I mean, you find a bunch when you're cow hunting.
Yeah.
He'd find a bunch of cows. I'll give you, I don't know if it's done these cows any good. It probably didn't give old Floyd. Floyd Davis went down there with me and Joey one time. Me and Joey left Floyd with a handful of cows on the glades. 3 hours later, we came back to Floyd. It's dark at this point. We don't even know if Floyd's in the same spot. But like I'm telling you, Joey could go from point A to point B in that cypress in the dark and he come right back to where Floyd was sitting with them cows. Once he got close, he hollered at Floyd. Floyd was over there. Hey, Joey said, "You still got them cows?" "Yes, sir. They're right here." And he was glad to see us.
Yeah, I
he
bet
thought we done left him.
There's no cell phones or nothing to call.
Anyway, we drove what me and Joey had and what Floyd was holding to the south field in the dark.
What?
In the dark.
Through the cypress.
Yeah, and we got to the south field. And we couldn't get in the south field because there was a lock on the gate.
Oof.
And we couldn't see or didn't know what the combination was or something. So we drove him to the house. And I don't know. It was 11 o'clock time we got back to the camp. There was a crevice at the camp. And Joey said, "Well, we'll just lead them." Joey was leading them. Me and Floyd was siding them and driving them. And you could see, because a lot of them were white.
Yeah.
You know, them white cows. You could see them to drive them with the moonlight. But I don't think a cow can see much better than you can in the dark. She don't want to run in them trees and stuff. So
No.
they just kind of walked along. Yeah.
They handled
They
pretty
knew
good.
the dogs were there. No, they didn't. We didn't lose a cow.
Dude. How many was it? You reckon 200 or so?
Well, I don't know if it was that many. Maybe
Yeah.
there's 80.
Mm-hmm.
But down a buggy trail in the cypress, 80 looks like 200.
Yeah, for real. Because they're all strung out through that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, how would you even get around them or know to get around them if
Somebody's in front of them already. You don't. He's leading them. They're
Yeah.
basically following him.
For sure. Can you tell me what he said? If their ears are flapping, you know you got them.
You got them.
Yeah.
Just bobbing them in ears are just doing like that.
Yeah.
On them brammers. She's standing there with her head up and them ears ain't moving. You ain't got it. You might want to mind her a minute.
Was that something that happened a lot though? Driving stuff at night? Would you guys drive? You would drive
with
stuff?
Joey in particular.
You would drive stuff at night
Yeah.
all the time?
Well, I mean, you tried not to, but you get miles from the camp and one thing happens and stuff just snowballs on you and then you get in their yard, you're dark. You know?
Seriously. I mean, yeah, especially around like that. I bet you are really happy to see camp whenever you get
when we
back
clean
there.
that place out, I think me and Joey and Preston Stokes were 13 hours in the saddle
Oh my gosh.
every day.
Dude.
Yeah.
How many days did it take to get it cleared out?
I mean, I think we were down there a week,
Yeah.
you know, and maybe we didn't get it completely clean. And if we didn't get, me and Joey didn't have the best dogs in the world at the time, which really sucked because we needed them at that time. Preston had some pretty good dogs, but they were, you know, Preston told us, look, we got to be close for these dogs to overhaul them. I mean, he day worked for a living, and most of the time he was in a grass patch.
Mm-hmm.
Send them on site, you know. They didn't have to do a whole lot of trailing, but it all worked. I mean, we got it done. I think we got most of them. There could be some cattle down there wild, but
No, for sure.
I don't know if there's anybody got cattle in there no more.
Was that the time when you were with Clint and you're riding Boing Boing and you roped something right there like in a rocky ditch or something?
No, it was me. That was me and Joey, and actually, there was cattle that got on the red. There was like some neutral ground in between us and the reservation, yeah, I was on it was like a rock dike. There was a ditch on this side of it. And one of Joey's cows, the dog found her in there. And I think she was right by herself. Anyway, we decided we was going to rope her. Anyway, I lined her out down that dike. Well, the dike made a little curve up in front of me. And I got to where I was going to cast it. When I casted it, I stuck it right on her. And we were running top speed. Well, she goes right off the side of that dike. And there's a little small cypress just right at the bottom of that dike right there. Joey's, I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss her. So he's going to catch her when she comes out of there. Well, I didn't miss her. And off that dike she went right into that cypress and disappeared. Boing Boing just shuts her down like this. And he's in them rocks. And I've already got one foot kicked out of the stirrup. I'm fitting to get off. This is going to turn out bad.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And when I get to the bottom, he just shuts her down, spins around, and up that hill he went and drove her out of that cypress.
Wow.
Yeah, right by himself.
Really?
And then we got her down, we tied her or whatever we did with her. Might have stuffed her back through the fence. I don't remember what we did.
That wasn't the one that flipped over?
No. Clint Boney roped that thing over to a place called Ossiwa, I think. He roped a cow off that brown horse of his, which was much a man too. And
I'm sure.
Clint could rope also. He stuck that thing right around the horns of that burner. I guess right in the back of that cow's head. He shut old Brown down. When he did, it jerked that cow right over backwards. All 4 feet went in the air and stuck her horns in the ground. All 4 wheels just kicking.
Yeah, all 4 were going.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's crazy. But you kind of got to hop around and see a lot of different places around here, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did a lot of hopping around, if that's what you want to call it. Driving around.
Yeah,
One
driving
place to
around.
another. It was fun. I mean, we had fun.
I'm sure. You got to work with Tommy Culberson?
Oh, yeah. I worked with Tommy a lot.
You did?
I worked around Terry Peacock. Terry Peacock's another one. I did a lot of work with Terry when I was just beginning cowboying. And Terry did the same thing with a cow in the woods as Joey did. Mm-hmm. And Terry went to the Cypress with us a couple times down there. And that was his. Terry had cattle in rough places. They had to be dog broke.
Yeah.
And he was the same way.
Oh, for sure. He told me one time when he went down there to the Cypress, I think it must have been the Cypress with Joey. He was saying that they were riding or doing something like that. They're holding a bunch. And Joey told me, he said, every time I look back, you were in the right spot.
Sure.
Every time I look back, you're in the right spot. He told me that story a couple of times. I wish I got to see it. I wish I got to ride with those guys. What was Tommy like?
Tommy he was a lot to himself. Tommy didn't say a whole lot. When he said something, it had some knowledge, had some knowledge behind it. Tommy liked to handle his horse a lot. And he could make one handle. He'd just be riding it with a boswell or something like that, a piece of parachute cord. And there's no possible way I could ride a horse like that. I needed a bit in his mouth to make it do it. But Tommy he's a
horseman.
He was good with a horse, yes. Yeah.
I've heard that from multiple people. I only got to meet him once. But I knew so many stories about him when I was leaving his house. He stops for a second. I had asked him all these questions about what's, Peacock and Steven have told me 100 stories about him.
Yeah.
And it was like the last deal, and I'm fixing to leave. And he stops me. He's like, have we met before?
Really?
Yeah. I said, no, sir, I don't think we have. But I feel like we have.
Yeah.
Just from all the stories you hear about him. But he was a quiet guy?
Yeah, he was pretty quiet.
He was, really?
Yeah.
He wouldn't say a whole lot working.
He didn't say a whole bunch.
Yeah.
From what I remember about him.
No doubt. I'm trying to think about other dogs that you've known that I've heard about. The only other one that I can think of right now is Sissy. Not your Sissy, but Troy's Sissy. Do you remember that dog?
No.
She was like a little blue dog or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
I had some experience with that dog. Not much. I mean, I killed some hogs over. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that much experience with it.
No?
No. The one with the tattoo, right?
I don't know if it was the tattoo, but she was like a little blue dog, and she was
her.
really good about trailing a deer. Because I used to have a dog that looked just like her, and Troy saw my dog. He's like, had a double take. He saw her here. He's like, there's no way. That dog looks just like Sissy.
Huh.
Yeah. But I mean, you had a Sissy at one time, which all of my stuff goes back to all of those dogs.
Yeah.
Sissy, Naomi.
And Bruner's stuff, and my stuff, and Carlos's stuff. All my stuff comes from Carlos's dogs.
Yeah. It's all connected in some way. Do you have any Do you have any cow dogs that come to mind that you can think of that those guys toted, other than the ones that you had said?
Not too much. I mean, other than that, I mean, Carlos always had good dogs. But you couldn't not have them. You know, you couldn't tolerate dog not doing what he was, you know, what he was meant to do and do it right. He just wouldn't tolerate it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like I said, it was a necessity then. Now, you didn't get to work on Box Ranch or none of that stuff.
No, it was before my time.
Yeah, like with that
I think
Carlos.
I was in high school when them boys were working there.
Yeah, like when Carlos and Tommy and Peacock were working at, or Johnny Davis.
Bennett and John Davis and them guys. Yeah.
This is when you were in high school.
Yeah.
Now, so what was Martin County like when you were in high school? All around there, all around South Fork? Because I thought you were the first graduating class.
I was the first graduating class from South Fork. Went all 4 years.
Yeah. What was Martin County like?
Well, you know, like I said, like Box Ranch, they tell me I haven't been out that way in a while, but they tell me it's just a development over there now.
It's on its way to be.
It was wide open. I would see Johnny and I would see Carlos and them out there doing their thing, you know, on the way to school, but you know, I wouldn't pay it a whole lot of mind. I knew Johnny Bennett. He's kind of kin to me in a way. Talk to him, you know, at the store if I seen him at the store. But Martin County was kind of the good old boy system, you know. Back in them days.
Grades, dirt.
Yeah, Martin County grade was dirt. You know, I tell people all the time, you can't believe it, but if I could pull up to my driveway when I was a kid, like where I live now, like if I pulled out my driveway, it'd be 30 to 45 minutes before you seen a car. Now it's 30 seconds before you see one. That's the longest time.
Yeah, the longest time.
But literally when I was a kid, it'd be 45 minutes. You might not even see a car.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's just that few people around.
It was dirt and it was washboard and it was bad. When it was wet, it was bad. And when it was dry, it was bad. So nobody wanted to drive that. Of course, there wasn't that many people as there is now.
So that's another thing I forgot to ask you about was I know you touched on it when you talked about cricket dying, but what was the Glades County hunt area like as far as making around?
Glades County hunter was 5 times bigger than the Big Cypress.
Bigger?
But bigger. But there was cross fences there. So you could split it up. It was basically the same thing. I think it was the better pasture by far than the Big Cypress. It was a long days, man. Long day right there. I mean, you could be a long way from the truck and it could be dark on you. And you know, coming back, we'd have little crevices that we'd put together where we could put cattle and put them out on the road when you got ready to go back to the cow pens with them, and it's going to eat dirt for 6 miles or however long it took.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was horrible.
Do you remember the pasture names? Or no?
Well, he called it the little pasture, and the little pasture I think was the biggest pasture, which was kind of ironic.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. I just know there were a lot of bulls, wild bulls that Likes Brothers had left in there, and somehow or another Joey and Kim had contacted them, and they knew they were kind of in there, but nobody wants to go get them. I mean, they're literally wild. So they figured on there being so many head in there, so they just paid them for that many head and go, we got to go get them, because you can't leave them there with your cows that you've already gotten broke, because every time you bunch them up, one of these bulls are going to be with him and he's going to take some cows with him when he leaves.
Yeah.
Because they're leaving.
It's a snowball effect.
Yeah. So we decided we'd go get them. And I think Kim Bullard's uncle had a helicopter or something, and they had a helicopter, and it was just, Johnny, get your gun. If you could imagine, like, I don't want to say the best cowboys, but 14, 15 of the best cowboys riding at this helicopter, hovering over a group of cows that's got nobody knows how many wild bulls or cows are. I got another name for it, but I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I almost said it.
It's hovering over them. And Thea and Lizzie are in the helicopter going, we're sitting on them.
What?
And when I get there, I know which one I want. I want the one that killed Cricket.
Yeah.
And as soon as we come out of the pound, now we all can't stand it anymore. Now we're going at 14 horses at a run. And I can't tell you how many. I mean, I can think Brad Moss is there. I'm there. Roland Durance is there. Rafe Durance is there. Joey Drake, Rick Steed. I mean, there's just a bunch of people, and it gets when we come over out of the palmettos, they scatter like roaches, and I line that brindle bull out. The one I want, I got to have him.
Uh-huh.
And I one-horn him. He's
The
headed
one-horn
he's
trick.
headed to them ukes.
Uh-huh.
I get me another slack. I one-horn him again.
Oh.
And I turn and look over my shoulder. Here comes Brad Moss, and he's smiling from ear to ear. He says, So by this time, this big old bull, he ain't going as fast as he was right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I've done one-horn this stupid thing twice.
Huh.
And I look, and I can't get a loop built enough, and Brad comes blowing right by me and zips it on him.
Oh, man. I bet you were
I'm
ticked
sick.
off.
I'm glad the bull got caught, but I wanted to catch him.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's pretty
Out of
funny
principle.
that when I turn and look like there, he's coming, and he's already swinging his loop, and he's grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah, he has that little.
Yeah, he's got the little behind the head. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it wound up.
Yeah, he was.
But I mean, I think we caught a bunch. We caught a bunch of stuff out of there that time, and as we went along, going in and out of there, we were catching them.
Wow.
I don't think we ever did not catch anything the whole time we were over there.
Yeah, you never did.
I mean, literally, me and Joey Drake are sitting on a group of cows. He goes off to do his business in the woods, and here's a bull coming. Getting closer. I said, Joey, there's a bull coming over here. Yeah, I hear him. And darn if it wasn't one of them flipping bulls. No marks, no brands, a black bull come right up to that bunch of cows. Well, then the rodeo started whenever Joey got done with his business.
Dude.
I think he pulled out and left, and then me and maybe him and Matt Arrieta went and we got him.
You got him roped.
Yeah.
So you get him roped, and you have to bring a trailer down there.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
see, how are you communicating, though? How are you communicating saying, hey, I got one tied right here?
I think it was Nextel then.
Okay, so there's a way to communicate. You're not
Yeah, I
down there
mean,
cell
you're out
phone-wise.
there together. You see what's going on. It's pretty thick. And in between those ukes and all that stuff, it just grows up in there so bad. You
Dude,
can't hardly swing a rope.
that's what the entire place looked like?
Not all of it. They had big old sloughs in there with that maiden cane grass in there. It was a cow's paradise in there.
Yeah,
But she need to be dog broke.
for real. For the whole place. But there's open grass patches amongst all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
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 There's big areas
The
of grass.
roads, I mean, the miles of road that's in there has just got bahia grass or torpedo grass or whatever else on it. Them sloughs are full of torpedo grass and that maiden cane stuff. The cow loves that,
Yeah.
especially those kind of cows that Joey and Kim had.
But planted pines and ukes. Why did they plant ukes?
I think
Talking
they
about
use them
eucalyptus.
I think they use them for mulch or something because we knew as we were gathering, you'd see these guys in there working. They'd chop them down, cut them into a certain section, a length, and stack them on a truck like that. Kind of like they did the pine trees, but they left the pine trees whole and long. They'd cut the top off of it, cut the stump off of it, cut it off at the stump, and I'm assuming they use it. I think for
Like a mulch.
mulch.
Yeah, I don't actually know, but this is like you're talking about thousands of acres of this stuff.
Thousands of acres. And then there would be some places that wasn't bedded for ukes or didn't have no ukes on it. It'd just be woods.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful place.
What kind of woods though?
Like oak hammocks,
Oh,
cabbage hammocks, pine islands. It was a little bit of everything.
Was
There
it
was
really?
one certain area, and I think it was up there next to Bird Slough and the Little Pasture, somewhere in there. Certain time of the year. You ever seen those big yellow wildflowers?
Maybe.
The whole thing was covered in. It was a beautiful sight. But we drove a bunch of cows down through there. Well, they knocked them all over. Just kind of a wild, but they were tall. I mean, they were high as your head on a
Oh
horse.
yeah, I've never seen those then.
Yeah,
Being that
it
tall.
was pretty cool.
Wow.
I think it's probably got some pictures of that.
For
Any
sure.
flowers in there.
For sure. Now that place had a camp.
Yeah.
The whole deal.
Yeah.
Where you guys would go stay.
Actually, we stayed right around the corner down on Wayman Road. I think that somebody had a double wide trailer, and then we stayed there most of the time.
Dude.
We didn't have a camp in the woods,
Yeah.
so
So you guys would gather your stuff, you put it in a crevice. You'd kind of just keep making around. Is that kind of like how you do it?
I think they had a certain pasture that they had on their mind that we were gonna gather. I don't recall maybe doing the whole place because it was big, man.
Dude, yeah.
50,000 acres, something like
That's
that.
insane.
It was from the fire tower on 29 all the way across to the sand mine on Old Torno Road over there.
We just don't get to see places like that anymore.
No.
at all.
No.
At all. I mean, when you ride off, there's a long time before you see another horse.
Yes,
Potentially.
you need to have your stuff with you.
Yeah.
If we ain't coming back.
No, you're gonna be gone a minute.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I wish I got to see stuff like that. I really do. But when you came into, like, when you were growing up and you're trying to figure out what you want to do, you know, baseball career or whatever, are you ever considering being a hunting guide? Or are you ever considering being a cowboy?
I never crossed my mind.
Really? Not one time?
No. I mean, when I got done playing ball, got out of college, come back to town, got me to find a job. The boy I grew up with, Donald Bullis, you know, got me a job with Bob Shelter running front end loader. Most of the time we were pulling orange trees out of orange grove when there was a lot of grove around, but there's not anymore. That's how I got into running the front end loader at Brady Ranch and then got into the cowboying here, meeting, working cows for Frank and Joey. Joey was around then.
Yeah. So initially though, you had no plan on doing that.
I had no idea, you know.
Never crossed your radar.
No.
That's crazy.
Not guiding hunts. I never even thought of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess you weren't exposed to it initially.
No, I hunted as a kid.
Yeah. What, hog hunted and stuff?
Well, I mean, obviously when I was a kid, I started out squirrel hunting with my grandpa, and then I graduated into hog hunting and deer hunting and turkey hunting. And Joey got me going. I mean, I did a little bit of guiding here when Frankie Jr. was doing the thing, a little bit with them, but nothing to the extreme where that Joey did it.
Yeah, no, that was sure enough for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy though, how something that, you know, is not on your radar. I guess that's how it works though. Right? You know, you become exposed to it. And then after you got a taste of it with Joey though, were you like, yeah, I really like this.
I do. I mean, because I had zero responsibility. I mean, maybe I had a truck payment and insurance.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was using my truck for Joey. Joey he paid for my diesel fuel. And literally I was taking people hunting every single day and they're shoving $100 bills in my pocket. Well, I would empty my wallet. I would just put it in there till it wouldn't close no more. I mean, at the end of the week, there's $1,500 in there.
Yeah. So you're making really good money.
Yeah.
For a young man at the time.
Yeah, I would. It was like fishing with dynamite. I mean, this was great. I mean, except for the long hours, you know, because I was at that time in my life, I was drinking and partying and going out. And
yeah.
Joey was like, I mean, you're burning the candle at both ends, boy. And most people can't do this. And you know,
so he told you that.
Yeah, he was like, you know, you're gonna get burnt out.
Yeah.
You know, in other words.
No, for sure. Because I mean, I feel like it's so easy to whenever you got to be there super early before daylight.
Oh yeah.
And then it's all day doing whatever you're doing, and then like you say, you know, you get your kill or whatever in the afternoon, and you're like, bro, like they're all you know, popping a bottle and getting ready to smoke a cigar and celebrate,
sure.
And you're like, dude, this is when the work begins.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, because that's what Joey said. Like whenever I asked him about becoming a guide, he's like, it was never on my radar because for me it was just work, staying up late, skinning stuff.
Yeah.
You know, which I mean, it's a part of it, but it's a really cool job.
Right. I mean, it is. I mean, and I think about it, and I've thought about it a lot. Be on the way to work early in the morning and go, man, you know, you get up in the morning when the alarm clock goes off or whatever. You're like, man, dog, I got to go to work. But I'm going hunting. I mean, so is it really like it's not like going to in some metal coffin going down I-95 going to West Palm Beach having to go to look at a computer screen.
Yeah.
No way. No, thank you.
No.
I've been blessed. I can tell you that.
For sure.
To be able to see what I've saw and do all the hunting that I've done. And that's my job. I mean, a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't see, you know, the sights we've seen. A lot of people don't see that kind of stuff.
No, if you really think about looking back on all those stories that you just told me. I mean, I know it's like, you know, that's just the highlight reel. There's so much more in there. But
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, spending so much time with Joey when I first met this guy was just absolute. Me and another guy were in absolute stitches the whole time. This guy, I mean, he said stuff would come out of his mouth, and you know, you'd be dying laughing. I mean, your jaws would hurt at the end of the day because of it. I mean, you get 20 years of that kind of stuff, and then you're just kind of let it roll off of you. You know,
for sure.
But I learned a lot from the guy. I can tell you, I learned a lot from Joey Obannon, what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
So
They gave you a hard time when you were.
do you have no idea the time they gave me? Because I was dating my wife now, but she was quite a few years younger than me, and I mean, to the point where they had me fighting mad. I mean, I'd step off my horse and let's go, and they just ride off laughing about it,
Joey would?
Yeah, yeah. They were on me.
Yeah, they were on you. Well, they liked you. That's typically a sign if they give you a hard time.
Of course. I mean, at the time you don't see that.
No, you're pissed.
You just want to beat somebody's ass.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly, dude. No, it's crazy. Yeah, it's insane how you can do something and get exposed to it, and next thing you know, you're making a career out of it.
Yeah.
Trying to think of something else. I racked my brain on all these stories I've heard over the years, and I really don't think I'm missing a whole lot from what you said. But tell me some. One thing we didn't talk about was close calls as a guide, being shot at, quail stuff. Tell me some highlight reel close calls.
Mostly my close calls came in the bird hunting, and one really stands out to me, and I might have told you this before. It was I was hunting with these two older gentlemen, one of them being excessively old. And we were in a big palmetto patch, and some birds were just doing the old runaround in there. And he sees one, so he kind of, the line you try to keep. This man on my right kind of encroaches on the line a little bit. He sees a bird. He's trying to basically run it up so he can shoot it. And he does. Well, it flies right by my head. And when he picks his gun up, I see the fire come out into the barrel.
Oh, my gosh.
And I don't know, maybe because he was so close to me that the pattern hadn't opened up, is the only reason I can imagine that he missed me. But I got angry about that.
I guarantee it. Rightfully so.
Not so much, towards the client. I let him know about it, and his I think it was his cousin that was there with us. I think the man may have had Parkinson's or something like that. Yeah. So I wasn't going to be too hard on him, but he just tried to bump. He almost blew my head off. But his cousin was just like, let's just wrap it up and let's go. I said, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we did. And I got back to the camp, and it's dark by this point. And I told Joe, I'm not hunting every guy ever again. You can fire me or do whatever you want to do. I will never take that man again. Mm-hmm. I think the guy was on his way out. Joey had a talk with him. He said, look, you're going to have to take up sporting clays because these boys ain't going to hunt with you no more.
Wow.
So,
well, he was a regular?
And maybe Joey took him one more time after. Yes, he was. Yeah. Oh. And he was, when he was younger, I'm sure he was a great shot, but to do something like that, for as much as you've been bird hunting, you almost blew your brother's, or your cousin, or whoever this guy was.
And you.
And my head off.
Yeah, that's scary.
I watched the fire come out of the end of it.
It's insane to me how you can see the fire and not be hit by it.
I know it. Not one pellet hit me. If it would have hit me, it'd hit me right in the face. Because I'm like, there's no possible way this guy's going to shoot that bird. Bang! Yeah. He lets it rip.
What, you hit the deck?
Yes. But it was too late. I mean, once you see the fire, it's too late to duck.
Absolutely.
Because your head
is gone.
Right.
Smooth off.
Yeah. I mean, he's like near the stove over there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So it had to have been that the pattern was really small.
And it just like whizzed by.
Yeah.
Because, by the time you hit the deck, it's already there at you.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Anything else? Any other close calls you had?
I don't know. Not too much dangerous stuff. I didn't have too many close calls with the buffalo.
You never did with those buffalo? Any time where you rope one where you ever had a moment where you're like, this is not going to be good right here?
That was every time you rope one.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Seriously.
Me and Clint Boney had got after one. I don't know if Joey was there. We got after one, and I lined him into some palmettos. He went into this palmetto patch, which was them big ones, them big palmettos.
Yeah, the horse palmettos.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm going to have to throw now or forever hold my peace. And he disappears around this corner. And when I go around the corner, he's drawing his knife around that corner, and he's standing there looking at me when I get by. Well, Boing Boing's he's done cold jawed now. We didn't run this thing so far. He's cold jawed. I can't stop him. I'm like, he's either going to hook me. So I kind of sidestepped him and dove Boing Boing right off in them horse and palmettos, just as hard as I could ride.
Dude.
And Clint come in there behind me. He sticks it on the bull. Me and Boing Boing come wallering out of the palmettos, and I get my rope on him and we get him. But that was bad.
Dude,
that was a close call. I never expected him. I expected him to keep right on going, but when I went on that corner, he'd turned and faced me.
Drew
because
his
he knew
knife.
I was coming. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was able to sidestep him. Well, I knew because there ain't nowhere to go. It's just palmettos. And old Cold Jaw ain't stopping.
No.
And so I just spurred him and away we went right into the palmettos.
Oh my god.
Disappeared in there.
But the buffalo didn't try to chase you down?
No. Clint was right behind that, and he caught him coming and caught him around the horns. And we got out there and got 2 ropes on him and got him.
So I know you said that those.
I think we actually tied that one down and took a picture of him. It looked like a big giant hog laying there.
Dude.
I got a picture of him.
Dude, I would
somewhere,
love
man.
to see that.
Yeah. I mean, why Clint has this little, them little disposable cameras? He has this thing, digs it out of his saddle pocket, and we tie it down like a hog and take a picture of it. That's what it looks like, a giant
Giant
1,500-pound hog. You can't hardly see its head because of the picture taken.
Was he one of those swamp ones with the curls?
I think it would. No, the swamp was
Or the straighter
flat horn,
flat horn.
triangular shaped horns type.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I can't remember what he was. There was so many of them.
Now those guys, because you and Joey both said that there was a lot of guys that wanted to get in on the water buffalo roping.
Mm-hmm.
But was there anyone that you took and you're getting ready to go get around a few and you're like, here we go, and these guys see what's going on? They're like, whoa, pump the brakes.
I don't know if they'd go that far. A lot of the guys that wanted to go would go ahead and stick it on one.
Oh, they would.
Yeah, I think they would have, but it just got to where every time it just seemed it was me and Joey.
Yeah.
Rather than call somebody and, hey, come on, Danny McFarland would go. But a lot of the time it was just me and Joey go.
And you've known him for a long time?
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, the buffalo there were a lot of we tore up a lot of stuff.
Dude, I can only
so much stuff.
Trailers.
I mean, the barbed wire was what the perimeter was when he put them in there, and I don't know if you know this or not, but a water buffalo go through a barbed wire fence like it's nothing.
He doesn't.
Like
it doesn't bother him.
Paper mache. No, it hasn't. His skin's literally an inch thick, right through there, beyond the neighbor's place. Hey, one of your buffaloes over here. Yeah.
Who were the neighbors at the time
I think
that were calling you?
Cornbread, Larry Overton was on the backside. South of that, I think Mark Cruz, and on the north side, I think the man's name was Buddy. On the place, the 480 was on the north side, and that was rough in there. That's where I got into palmettos with the buffalo. Rode my horse off in there, so I wouldn't get.
Oh, it was in the 480.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven talks about the 480 on his podcast.
Yeah.
Growing up right there.
Yeah.
Or
It was kind of this open area. Kind of people would free range it.
Yeah.
Um,
Little free range action.
Yeah. Well, then buffalo got in there. That it was a rough place. That's where the one got after me in the water, all the way to the far back piece of it. There's this long slough in there, and that's where it went out in the deep water.
On JNR or on the 480?
No, on 480.
480.
In the back of there. It may have been part of that dairy. There used to be an old dairy there.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been part of that dairy property. Maybe there was a line there that the 480 ended.
Was that one of the first times that you saw one cross a boggy spot like that, and you were surprised on how well
No,
he did
I watched him on the ranch. I watched him do it at the ranch. I'm thinking to me, he'll just walk across them canals and stuff. You know how these canals here, it's all like sand on the side, but right in the bottom of it, you can't ride your horse across.
It's a bottomless pit.
He'll walk right through that. He'll walk right down it.
That's insane to me.
Yeah,
Just bred to do it.
They can stand up in a bad place.
Wow. That's so cool. And no one around here has them anymore. I thought this place had them at one time.
It is. They had a bunch of females.
Females.
And I think a couple people. I think
yeah, Carlos told me that.
Nye Bowman got hooked. They accidentally maybe pinned one with some cows or something. It was one of those females,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a buffalo hooked him in the cow pens, and then Frank was just like, "Let's get rid of them."
Oh, really?
Because he couldn't let his grandkids go and piddle around the woods and shed hunt because of the buffalo. He's just like, get rid of these things.
Yeah. What do you do to get rid of them? You got to shoot them, or you just round
No, they
them up?
pinned them and hauled them.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
They were able to get them all out of there.
Yeah.
When was the last one over there? When was the last one that was over there? They just got rid of them after a while?
Over where?
At JNR. They just got rid of them after a while?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the new owner had
Quit fooling with them.
yeah, he was. I think he was. I didn't want the liability having them around.
Which I can imagine it
I
is
helped
a liability.
I helped him get rid of them. I brought some clients in there, and we shot a bushel of them.
Kind of clear it out.
Yeah,
I guess that's your
I mean, I didn't
best
shoot.
way.
I didn't obviously. I mean, I made a pretty good dent in them, but I didn't. I didn't didn't get them all.
Yeah. What other animals were there though, other than the axis deer and the water buffalo? Exotics.
Big red stag. I mean, a big herd of red stag was there. A lot of females. A good herd of fallow deer. A little bit of everything. Nilgai antelope. A lot of Nilgai antelope. Waterbuck. He had the only. Never hear about these things in Sitatunga, which is an African antelope. Then they like to be in the swamps. So Joey had a handful of those Sitatunga, which nobody had those. And I ended up shooting a Sitatunga bull in there with a guy.
What does a Sitatunga look like? What is it like?
It's kind of like in.
Is it like a cow?
No. They're
deer.
like an antelope. Kind of like the Inyala, I think, and really beautiful animal.
Spiraled?
Yeah, not real spiraled up. Maybe a turn, maybe 2 turns, but just kind of a slow spiral. Interesting animal.
African.
Yeah.
Were they the only African animal there then? Because a lot of
No,
those animals,
waterbuck are African animal.
Oh, waterbuck are.
Yeah.
The rest of those are mostly from India, or
Yes.
that area of the world.
Yeah. Interesting that Indian animals do so well here because the climate must be about similar to where they're from in India because these animals do well.
Absolutely. Well, axis deer and a black buck are from India.
We had black buck over there too, but it didn't seem to, and I don't know if it was due to the coyotes or parasites or what it was, but we never really could raise them that good over there.
No?
Nothing like here. When as the crow flies, it can't be 5 miles over there.
Yeah, it's very close.
But they do well here.
Wonder what it is.
And I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Maybe it's just like that genetic pool. Yeah, maybe he just had some not as good genetics. The black buck.
I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. That place with Joey's was wet a lot longer than this would stay wet. Maybe that has something to do with it, or is the parasite situation. And it could have been coyotes too, because coyotes just keep coming and keep coming and they keep coming. If you don't stay on top of them, they'll wipe you out of business.
Mm-hmm. What was the nilgai like? Because that's something I've never experienced. Was hunting a nilgai.
Nilgai, they're super tough. He can take some lead too. Not like a water buffalo, but he can take some lead. They're outstanding eating and a lot of it. Not super trophy wise. I think the world record is like 13 inches. Don't hold me to that, but they don't have super horns. But most of them you kill are going to be 8 inches somewhere around in there.
They're like a spike.
Yeah, and they call them the blue bull. And they got like this white teardrop down his face, and he's got black and white rings around his foot. And he's got a little turkey beard hanging all right off his chest, like a turkey beard.
Does he really?
And they are delicious.
Wow. What are they comparable to?
Like, eating wise?
Yeah. If you could compare
like eland, axis deer, maybe not quite like axis deer, but they're close. They're good.
Really?
And there's a lot of it. These are big animals.
Big animals.
Yeah.
No one around here really has them anymore.
I don't think so, but I think maybe they still have some over there. I don't know.
Nilgai.
Yeah.
Now that's something that there's a lot of ranches in Texas with them.
They do. There's a free range herd of nilgai in a lot of places in Texas.
Was he really skittish whenever you go after him, or they're kind of easy to kill?
They weren't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make a stalk on one pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting story about a nilgai. I was going to shoot a nilgai with a guy, and we made our stalk, and I only see one blue bull standing there. So we set the sticks up. He gets on the sticks. Bang, he shoots this thing. I watched the bullet hit him right on the button. It runs, and there's this giant myrtle bush. And when it runs, at some point, I don't know this till hours later, it falls behind this myrtle bush. There's another live blue bull standing behind that myrtle that I don't see. It comes out of his body and goes off in the woods. And I watch exactly where it goes. And I go over there and look. I'm looking for blood. I don't see no blood. I just watched this bullet stick this thing right through the shoulder. And finally, Joey, I think Dr. Greenfield was there. They're all over there. We're looking for blood. Nothing. We can't find anything. Well, let's go back to where we originally shot the thing. Well, on our way back over there, we get behind that big myrtle bush. There's a blue bull laying there dead. Well, the one he shot died right behind that tree. But it looked to me like it just kept going.
Yeah.
Into the woods, because there was another one standing there. When that one fell, he took off.
Wow.
So kind of a coincidence.
Yeah. That's so crazy that he died right where there was one laying.
Yeah. Like he was running over to his buddy and he just, down he goes. This one shoots right out of his body and keeps going. Place. But that's all I see.
Was a live one.
Was a live one. I'm like, how's this thing not bleeding? He just shot him with a 7 mag right in the shoulder.
That's insane.
And, yeah, that was a weird coincidence.
Yeah, it's so weird. But then after a while, you did find him.
Oh, yeah.
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 I bet that was a relief. For real. What was your favorite, do you think, to hunt back then on that place? Your favorite animal to pursue?
It's got to be this guy.
Really?
Yeah, even over at Joey's where...
The axis deer.
It was a lot of fun to hunt. It was a lot of fun to hunt those axis deer. Even here, they're just fun to hunt.
Yeah.
Because they are so wary, maybe, and they're tough. I mean, you got to make a good shot on this thing.
They are
like
tough.
You shoot. We're all trained to shoot that crease on a whitetail. You shoot spot in that crease, you're not going to see spot again until I find him with the buzzards, probably, because they don't bleed. It seems like you shoot him, even shoot him through and through, he doesn't bleed. He doesn't bleed very much, and it's hard to track him. Which brings me to this little dog that I own now that I carry around with me all over the place. I've taught her how to track axis deer since she was 10 weeks old, and she does a pretty good job.
Gidget.
Although if you teach her the blood trail, if there ain't no blood, then we're just kind of going on whatever they say, pheromones or something that a wounded deer is putting off. But she's been pretty successful finding them.
So where's the best place to shoot an axis deer?
Right through the front shoulder, in my opinion. That's where I shoot one. If I'm going to shoot him, I'm going to shoot him right through the front shoulders with a fairly good sized gun. You don't want to be shooting one through the front shoulders with, a 22 Hornet.
Yeah.
But break the first shoulder. I feel like his heart and lungs are a little farther forward than a whitetail. Break his shoulder on impact and maybe break the other shoulder on the other side. And now generally if you do it, if a client shoots him, don't just pick out a spot here.
Yeah.
Shoot that spot on his front shoulder right there. He's not going to make it back in the woods. You shoot him in that crease, I promise you he's going in the woods. And he's not going to bleed a drop.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's through the front shoulders. Now, you've seen him shot. Remember you telling me you've seen him shot through the front shoulders and just wheelbarrowing with the back legs.
Oh, sure.
Correct?
Pushing himself on his chest. Yeah.
Yeah, they're that tough.
Yeah.
It's actually unreal.
The wheel. I mean, whitetail are that way too. If he's not shot right, he can show you something too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've kind of, when I got this little dog, I see one not shot good. Now I'm like, let's go to the barn.
Yeah.
We come to the house. There's no sense going and chasing him.
No.
If he's shot back a little bit, let's let him lay there and die.
Yeah.
I got all night. He don't.
No, not to bump him around.
Yeah.
So they're probably your favorite to pursue.
Yeah.
Just because of the challenge of it.
Which is, kind of convenient. That's what I do.
That's pretty.
I kill 40 a year.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. Pretty handy to do that. And the black buck too. They're
Black
just
buck.
mostly out in the open though. That's a mostly out in the open.
Yeah, in the open.
It's crazy too how they're born in that one particular field and they typically never want to leave that field.
It doesn't seem. I've never seen them swapping fields.
Yeah.
Like if they're in the racetrack and some born in the farm or there's some born in the jigs or there's some born in the back there. They don't do a lot of mingling around. They don't go from field to field. He stays where he's born, which is weird. But there's always a pretty good herd of animals in both.
Yeah. Well, he's afraid of the woods, correct?
He don't like to go in the woods. I get after those ones in the back. They've learned to go in the woods to get away from him. They realize there's not a tiger in there now.
Yeah.
So they go in there. But he ain't going to be in there long.
But they do. They like it.
Yeah, he'd rather be in the woods.
He'd rather be in the woods than the open.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like how they're just made. How the DNA is all put in there,
That's his bag. I mean, I think that's part of his game is...
Because he's from India too. He's native to India.
Yes. And I'm assuming it's woodsy where they're from. I don't know. I've never been to India, but they like to be in those woods. If he gets in that open, and he sees him or smells him, it smells you. He's going back in those woods. He's not going to get farther out in the open unless it's dark. Now they get bold in when it's dark, and they come on out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to think about. Oh yeah, they're incredibly good to eat too. Table fare wise. Yeah. That's probably as good as anything that was on the ranch back then. Even a nil guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you've gotten into turkey hunting quite a bit too.
I do a lot of turkey hunting.
Do you like that?
I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun
About
pursuit.
day 30. I'm kind of over it. When you start March 1st and then April 1st, you kind of I'm over it.
3 a.m. mornings.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m., 4 o'clock in the morning. Taffy's doing the cooking. The clients are staying here, and then you're here till 10 o'clock at night babysitting. You just want to go home.
Yeah, man.
But that's the nature of the business. It's hunting. So you're going to wake up in the morning, alarm clock's going to go off. You're going, I'm kind of tired, but I want to go turkey hunting. You know?
Yeah. Part of this podcast is supposed to be about really good stories. And the other part of it is like, if somebody's listening that maybe has an interest in becoming a guide, what is the best way either to become one? Joey he touched on that about, patience being the number one thing and being in the entertainment business. But what are some truths about guides, guiding life that, people say like, oh, well, he just gets to hunt every day, but they don't see all that hard work that goes into it. What are some of the things? There's a
lot of other stuff that goes into it. I don't know that anybody does the stuff that Joey and I did back in the day. I can give you some pretty good advice. I mean, wear some earmuffs.
Yeah.
Because I'm deaf as a stump.
Yeah.
Because of it, not just, going to be cowboy tough and not plug your ears. And I started, I wore the cowboy hat religiously, and then but it got in the way of the earmuffs. So I ditched that, started wearing the earmuffs over top of the ball cap, and maybe preserved something. I think I have anyway.
So when you first started, though, you didn't use any kind of hearing protection.
I didn't use anything. I'd use my ears when it was convenient, or my fingers when it was convenient. And about 4 or 5 years into it, I'm like, I know Joey's hearing's going bad. It wasn't as bad as it is now back then, but it was still pretty bad. And I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna put some earmuffs on. So I waved the cowboy hat and went with the ball cap.
That's typically what you wore on those hunts and stuff, was a cowboy hat?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we wore a cowboy hat no matter what we were doing.
Yeah.
When we were quail hunting or whatever. But I actually seen Joey cut an old cowboy hat that he had. He just cut a big old dip out of it with his pocket knife so he could put the earmuffs on with the cowboy hat, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
He come up here with that thing. I'm like, what the heck?
He modified it.
Yeah, modified it so he could wear his earmuffs.
Yeah, he did. That's hilarious. Now, so take care of your ears, number one.
Number one.
But it's hard work at the end of the day.
It is. It's long hours. I mean, if you're not an early riser, this job ain't for you. I can tell you. Or if you're going,
or stay later.
Yeah, it's just lack of sleep. It's probably not the job for you.
Yeah.
It just it wears on you day in and day out if you're doing it, especially like turkey hunting, doing the 4 to 10.
4 to 10's a grind.
Yeah,
that's a grind.
It's a grind.
That's a grind for sure.
You stop loving it after that. You want you're going to get you a nap. First week of hunts, you probably won't take a nap. Middle of the day, about 3 weeks in, you're taking a nap. Middle of the day, you better find a spot.
No, for sure. And you're in the entertainment business.
You're in the entertainment business. Client's always right. Unless he shoots you or he shoots at you. Then he's not right.
No, then he's definitely not right.
But still, for the sake of the business, you gotta fairly be nice and go, look, your hunt's over with.
Yeah.
I don't tolerate that stuff. I kill hogs off a swamp buggy now, and anybody that's unsafe, I'm done with it.
You have to be, though.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Yeah, you have to be.
And back in the day, I can remember when I was single, I wasn't married, I didn't have kids. I'd duck down, plug my ears, and let people shoot over my head. I'm not doing that. I mean, those days are over.
You used to let them do that.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I'd duck down and let shoot birds or whatever, as long as I was down.
Yeah.
But still, you look back on that. But once I had children, I was over with.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You can't be taking those risks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that you would need. I guess you don't necessarily always need a place. Like if somebody wants to become a hunting guide, they don't need necessarily a ranch. I guess they can be. Is there such a thing as freelance where you can take people different deals? You kind of got to have a place to do it.
I think you have to have a place to do it.
Yeah.
I think you need to go, like I learned from Joey, and he took me, I don't know how many bird hunts before he goes, give me a set of dogs. And even then, once when I was going with him, he would go, all right, we're going to load your dogs today, the ones that you're going to use, and you're going to go with me and Doc or whatever. And you're going to run the whistle. You're going to run the shot collar. You're going to do all that stuff before you ever turn me loose and let me go do it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you got some guy out there, you turn him loose with the dogs. He just camps on his dog with a shot collar. That's not going to turn out good for the dog. You're just going to ruin the dog.
Yeah.
And I'd probably ruin dogs anyway. But I don't know. The ones that Joey gave me, they were pretty automatic.
No, for sure. But the difference between those bird dogs and those cow dogs, did you notice a difference in toughness? They were both equally as tough.
I don't know if there's anything tougher than an English pointer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tough.
Unbelievably tough.
He don't care. I mean, he's going to be, we'd literally run him twice a day for 6 months. And you had to rest him. You don't want to because you got this thing. He's going good. He's doing good. But you better rest him because he ain't got no hair left on his tail. It's
For
cracked.
real.
There's blood flying all over the place.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
the windshield wiper in the box, just hitting on
getting all
everything.
over the clients.
Yeah, fired up.
Yeah.
No, man, that's cool. It's a cool deal.
Yeah.
It's a cool life.
Yes, it is. I like it.
Looking back on it. So, Miles, you got anything you want to ask him? I'm trying to rack my brain because, this is one of those things where you gotta kind of think about it and not try to leave something out. How long have we been going anyway?
Well, I could double it up. Huh?
How long has that been going? Oh, that's pretty
That's
good.
pretty good, man, huh?
That's pretty good. You got to give me. I know over the phone you've given me a guest, but you got to give me a guest that you think you can talk into doing it. Think about your years, the pearls of wisdom you've acquired.
Troy Woodham
For sure, I would love
is
to.
a storyteller from the word go. He's got a lot of good stuff and just coming up down in South Florida and doing the whole hunting life and hunting these public hunting areas and unpublic hunting areas and all, whatever. He's got a lot of good stories. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to get some of them cowboys like Carlos and John Davis and some of those guys and get some of their stories. I'm sure they've got some wild stories.
Oh my gosh, dude, I want to do the Box Ranch reunion.
Yes,
This would be such a handy spot too because of this round table.
Bring it on.
It would
Whenever
be-
you want to do it, that'd be great if you could get them.
I would love to get him. Terry.
I mean, Carlos he's all old school. He's like, I don't want anybody knowing what I did.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Come on,
well,
man.
how are people going to know what you did? You're
Yeah.
going to be the dash in the middle.
Mhm.
You're going to be Carlos, born in 1950, whatever, and whenever you go, for that to be recorded because everything you got's locked up in that little microscopic brain cell you got. We need to know what you got.
No, that's the whole point of this. I know it initially seems silly, but you have to record the stories.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave us the highlight reel, and there was amazing stories in there, but you have to get it jotted down.
Right.
Because, I mean, you know stuff about Terry, you know stuff about Carlos, and then when they sit down, they're going to know this, and they're going to know that, and all this other stuff is going to combine. And that way people looking back when they hear these things and they hear about what it was like whenever they were coming up. I mean, dude, that's valuable information.
And, it's just that frame of mind thinking of, it sounds stupid to us because we did it and we lived it, but it don't sound stupid to everybody.
No.
Because everybody don't get to live, and see what we saw.
No. And I take that information initially for granted, like, oh, hearing these stories about Box Ranch, roping all those hogs or,
Yeah.
Peacock running white belt and doing this and doing that. And like, riding with Tommy, like, yeah, we get the overview, but I mean, just to see that,
Right.
just to be able to see that and experience that, that's the closest thing we have is the story.
Right.
The
And
closest thing we have is the story.
Them guys that saddle a horse and ride it every day, back in them days, that's good stuff. I mean, I want to hear it.
For sure. It's a whole other, dude, it was just a whole other world back then.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm a day worker and we love hearing those stories because we're like, man, I would love to ride in the Glades County hunt area.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to ride in the Big Cypress. Or just hearing about how people handled cattle back then and how slow they were, or whatever it was, whatever dogs they had. I mean, it's not even just cowboys that love hearing it though. Everybody loves hearing about it.
Right.
There's so many guys, like whenever I went to go do Joey's interview, Eric's calling me about it, Troy's seeing it. They're all like, they're just fired up.
Oh, Troy did see it?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did. Yeah, Eric called me and he shows me he was saying, he showed Troy the phone. He said, whose voice is that? He said, that's Joey Obannon. He said, he's being interviewed right now.
One of a kind.
Yeah, but it fires him up is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It fires him up and then that's recorded down. It's just an important thing to do. But this would be an awesome spot.
We can do that.
I got to get him talked in. But man, thanks for doing this.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I mean, that went by pretty fast, faster than I thought. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, once you start rolling,
Once you start rolling, and then we're gonna quit this right now, and you're gonna be like, you want to know what I should have told you about this,
Right, I'm sure.
or I'm gonna think like, you know what?
No, I'll be on the way home thinking about, oh man, he would love that one.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
I know, but there's always room for round two. Like I told Steven that I'm gonna try to get Steven and Scotty on to tell their stories, just catching stuff and different stuff coming up, and that would be a good one. And then we'll convince Terry and Carlos and John Davis and all of them to do
that would be classic. Not only just to get them all three back together, and if you get Johnny Bennett, that would be good too. He was right there with them. That would be good. That would be a good cast.
And one of the best people to tell you about Tommy's horsemanship is Peacock.
Sure.
I mean, the stuff
they were
he's
buddies.
got.
They were from the same place.
Pahokee.
Yeah.
Just the stuff they got in their cranial vault, man. It's crazy. But thanks for doing this, bro.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for all the years of training on me and all
begun.
Now all the good memories, man, of being in the barn cleaning stuff at night or being horseback and all those first stories that you told me.
All that hog skinning.
It makes a mark, man. It's just awesome to hear about such a cool life and
good. Thank you.
Be honored to call you a friend.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
You good? That was fun, man.
Killing me.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Dash in the Middle. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to support us, the best way you can do that is by leaving us up to a 5-star review. Leave us a comment, give us a guest suggestion, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tune into the next one. We'll see you there.